Ladies and gentlemen, to hear the truth about the Philippines, I have 22 items that I'm going to review in today's live stream. And these items: computers, cell phones, landlords, tablets, repair shops, dentists and doctors, and the inability to get a straight answer from someone in the Philippines when they don't have the information you request. They will just say anything that comes to mind. That, my friends, is disturbing because it takes up your time, energy, money, and your mental angst. So let's start off. I do have a page of notes. The reason I put the pirate picture up there is because although the people of the Philippines don't believe they're actually stealing anything from you by lying to you or misdirecting you, they are, in fact, doing exactly that. So I'll give you the perfect example of how they steal your time and make you upset and give you great angst and have no regard whatsoever for your mental incongruities. Incongruity. I don't know how to say that word. Incongruities. Your mental angst. Okay? So I brought an Apple cell phone, and I'm going to talk about the cell phone first, then we're going to go to tablet, then we're going to go to computers. I bought an Apple phone 4 years ago, and it lasted 2 years. So I brought it back to the Apple dealer that I bought it from, and they said that it's more than 2 years old, which it was, about 2.5 years. We can't fix that. But the man next door can fix it. So they walked next door with me and talked to him. And he said to me and Daisy, let me look into this problem. If I can fix it, the part is 600 pesos. And he did say the word if he can fix it. So he is a certified Oppo repair, Samsung repair, and whatever other cell phones they sell in their repair service. And he said, come back in an hour. So we went back in about 2 hours. And he wasn't quite done with the information he needed. So he made another phone call, which he may not have even made the phone call in the first 2 hours, and then said, sorry, we can't get those parts. The phone is more than 2 years old. So how did he know the phone was 2 years old? Well, that's because the woman in the Oppo store who came next door with us told him to say the phone was 2 years old, in my opinion. So he can't fix it. He said, but we have phones, because I made it clear I wouldn't want to buy another Oppo phone. But we have phones for sale, and they're better than Oppo. So I looked at his phones, and for the Oppo phone, I paid just under 7,000 pesos, or $140. His phones started at $200. So the information that was on the motherboard, which was the original problem, he deleted when he tried to do whatever he tried to do. So now I lost 300 plus phone numbers and about 3 years worth of information, or 2.5 years worth of information, because he tried to do something. And what he did was he refreshed the motherboard instead of taking the information out of the motherboard and preserving it for me. He wiped it clean. So I lost 3 years of phone numbers and 3 years of information regarding those phone numbers. After the 3 hour, after we were there for about a half an hour, he did make his set these parts, but you can buy one of our phones for 10,000 pesos, which I just figured was a scam from the get-go, because I cannot understand why a major supplier of phones, otherwise known as OPPO phones, can't have a supply of motherboards on hand that are at least universal to several different phones. So I left, and I did not have the repair, nor did I buy a phone from him. I was going to crush the phone just because I was upset with the phone, and I did not do that. So I brought the phone to another repair shop last week. So now 6 months go by, and I walk into the repair shop. I told the man, this motherboard on this phone is broke. He said within 10 seconds, he goes, no problem, I can get a motherboard for that. I said, it's 3.5 years old. He says, not a problem. 1,800 pesos. So I handed him the phone, and now he's going to repair that for 1,800 pesos. But he knew, because he's a phone repair service technician, he doesn't sell phones. He knew he could get the motherboard for the phone just by looking at the phone. This is what you have to deal with in the Philippines. And the same thing happened with this computer that I'm going to show you now. The same thing happened with my Asus computer. The same exact thing. The screen on this computer went blank. So I brought it into the local Asus dealership, and they said, sir, the computer is guba, which means garbage. Better you buy a new computer. And then they started showing me Asus computers that start at $800. Now, I know that I can buy this computer screen for $400. And then I have a full-size computer screen. Did they give me that option? No. The answer was, you should buy a new computer for $800+ with a worthless warranty, I might add, because I bought a computer in a store, brand new, and I brought it home. And overnight, I tried to move videos from a hard drive to the computer, and it would not accept more than 20 gigs worth of a grab. I grabbed 20 gigs. 20 gigs, it would be okay, but 50 gigs of information, it froze up the computer and you had to shut the computer off. The answer was, buy a new computer because the screen is no good. Now, I could have bought a screen for $50. They don't want to sell you a screen. They want to sell you a computer. So they would have you spend weeks of your time to reprogram a new computer that may or may not work. So with the new computer that I bought, it didn't work. It just didn't work. It would freeze up. So I brought it back the next day. It had a 7-day money-back guarantee. On the receipt, they wouldn't give me my money. I had to get the police. So when I walked out to get the police, they finally realized, after arguing with them for an hour and a half, that I was serious. I want my money back. And then I had to come back the next day and sign an affidavit that I was receiving my money back. And I had to come back to the city, though, the next day. Those are just two issues, that they don't want to repair computers. They want to sell you computers for $800. They don't want to fix your cell phones. They want to sell you cell phones. Now, let's talk about something really simple. Let's talk about this little bottle of glue. Okay? Let's talk about this little bottle of glue here. See this little bottle? It has, I don't know, 1/3 of an ounce of glue in the bottle. They want, if yours wages for a Filipino, that would be the equivalent of you paying $30 for 1/3 of an ounce of crazy glue, because that's all it is. It's crazy glue. It smells like crazy glue. It works like crazy glue. It's crazy glue. So they are basically charging 1 hour's wages for a Filipino. But if you shop around, you can get it for 30 pesos. But if you go to certain stores, you can buy this for 12 or 15 pesos. But how ridiculous is it to pay an hour's wages for 1/3 of an ounce of glue? Moving on. Let's talk about razor blades. That's my favorite topic in today's discussion. Wherever that razor blade went. Mr. Willis, I see your comments, and I will get to your comment in a moment. Please have patience. I can't find my razor blade. Here it is. Let's talk about razors, because a lot of the people that come to the Philippines use razors. See this razor blade? It's made by Gillette. It's a Gillette something. Gillette 3. Okay. I bought this razor handle and this razor blade March 5th or 6th of 2019. And I have used it several times a week since March 5th of 2019. So now it's 9 months old. I used it and Daisy used it for 5 months. Well, about 5 months. Daisy used it for 5 months and I used it for 9 months. It's still sharp. You can buy the best Gillette, Schick, or any other razor blade you want in the store in the Philippines. You can buy the top of the line razor and it won't last 4 shaves. It'll rust and you will throw it out. You'll get 4 facial shaves. The best Gillette or Schick razor blade in the Philippines costs $1. So you can get 4 shaves and then you throw it away. And so you have to spend $4 a month for shaving. This is 9 months old and still works perfect. Let's talk about something else that you can't get in the Philippines. Let's talk about GoPro cameras. Their warranties, when you buy them from the store, are worthless. They will tell you that you can bring this back and parts are guaranteed for 1 year and that they will take care of any warranty issues. So this is a Hero 5, and when I bought it, and I'm going to tell you where I bought it. They're all liars. That's why I made this shirt, the Liars Vertical Lip T-shirt. That's why this shirt was created. Because in the Philippines, people will straight lie to you to your face. Even though I spent $460 for this camera, the woman who has been the manager for 6 years in a store called Colors, COLORS, in the ICM Mall, is a bold-faced liar. So, why is she a liar? Okay, so I buy the Hero 5 camera, and it leaks. It leaked. Before it leaked, there was a problem programming the camera. It wouldn't program, even though I went to the website. So I brought it to the store, and she wanted to charge me to reprogram the phone that she had just sold me a few days before. So I didn't want to pay, and she eventually succumbed to my aggravation, and she had the technician reprogram the phone properly this time because the first technician didn't reprogram it right. There was an issue with the 4000 resolution. So now it leaks. Now they're supposed to be under warranty, but I didn't care if it was under warranty or not. I wanted them to send it out to Manila, but they wouldn't do that. They just wouldn't do it. They said, no, sir, buy a new one. So what I did is I went to GoPro's website and I signed up for $5 a month. I bought insurance. It didn't matter whether the phone was wet before you bought it or after you bought it. If you have insurance, you ship it to America and they'll replace the phone. Problem is you can't send it with a battery, and it's $63 to send this phone to America. But that's what I did. But they didn't want to send the phone to Manila or give me the warranty for the leakage. They didn't even want to check to see why the phone leaked. That was the problem with that store. So I spent $460 in a store. The camera leaked shortly thereafter, and it was not from, in fact, that day was the day I cleaned all the seals with a toothbrush, which I would occasionally do, and then went in the water with it, and this one of the seals leaked from the face plate or someplace else because the rubber seals were intact. I looked at it with a very high level of glasses, like a number 5.5. I could see every minor detail of the seal. Okay, so they do not uphold their warranty that they tell you in verbiage, like, voice. They'll put it in a contract, and then when you bring the camera back, they won't abide by the. All she had to do was send this phone to Manila. She didn't want to do that. What she did do eventually is she said, come back tomorrow. It's always come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow and I will get you an address. Well, go get me the address now on the phone. No, sir, I have other things to do. So she basically just me around because she, the manager of the store for 5 years, said she didn't have the address of where to send the GoPro phone that she sells in her store, exclusively GoPro phones. I mean, GoPro cameras. They exclusively sell GoPro cameras in colors, and she didn't have the address in Manila. Why did she tell me to come back tomorrow? Because that's what these people do. When you say something to these people that they should abide by their promise, you insult them by saying they're not following true to their word. So you're insulting them. So what they'll do is they'll tell you to come back tomorrow. So I demanded that she do it now. And she just walked away like I wasn't there. So rather than get into a bigger argument, I walked away, and I came back a few days later. I said, do you have that address? And she said, no, you'll have to come back tomorrow. And I said, I'm going to get the police and bring the police to the store, and you can answer them why you're not giving me the address to GoPro in Manila, because I bought it from their store. I had the receipt. I had the date. It was only about 7 months old. And still, she gave me an argument, walked into the back room and made me wait 20 minutes for the address of GoPro that she sells exclusively in her store. So I said, do you have the phone number? She goes, no, sir. You don't have the phone number? She made me wait an additional 10 or 15 minutes for the repair service phone number. You want to move to the Philippines, you better learn how to have patience, because patience is something that you really need an abundance of living here. It's not the warranty, it's the ignorance that they think you are. You're not ignorant. It's how ignorant they believe you are to believe their lies, to believe that the store called Colors, COLORS, in the ICM Mall doesn't have the phone number for the repair service for GoPro, which they exclusively sell, and that you should have to come back tomorrow for that telephone number or service address, that you're stupid enough to come back and spend, what, 3 hours of travel time to get back and forth? But that's what you have to do, short of calling the woman some derogatory name in public. You have to listen to some idiot, and she's an idiot. You have to listen to some idiot tell you she doesn't have the phone number of the GoPro that she sells exclusively, and that you have to come back tomorrow for the phone number and the address. So you have to deal with stuff here that you have no concept of dealing with in America. If this was America and I bought this at Queens Center and it was a GoPro phone or a GoPro camera and it had a year warranty on it and I had the receipt, they would just take it, put it on the counter and tell you, oh, we'll take care of it, sir. They wouldn't even send the camera out. So basically I had to get a box, send the camera to America with no battery. And here's the kicker. GoPro does not ship the camera back out of the country. I had to ship it to an American address. Fortunately, I was going to America, and I gave them my other house, or my house address in America. So they shipped it back to me, no problem, and this camera works fine now. But I don't put it in the water anymore, even though this is supposed to be waterproof up to 100 feet. When the camera lost the seal somewhere besides the rubber seal itself, I was in 2 feet of water. Now, let me show you something else that GoPro from Colors store sold me that failed. I'm going to show you the exterior water case. This case, I paid $54 for this case. $54. $54 for this case. And I have to take this apart. And the seal probably still works, but let me show you what else broke. Up here is the clip that clips the camera case closed. The plastic on the clip that grabs that metal snap broke. And the black plastic piece that grabs the camera and clasps, CLASP, the clasp fell off. I did find it eventually. That's one problem. $54. It's 2 years old, and I used it about 3 times in the rain, only in the rain. That's because the plastic hardened or changed its composition. So the brand new camera case that was never used except for in fresh water in the rain, the plastic became brittle and the clasp broke off. The same thing occurred to the clasps that hold this men on this camera case. So what I'm telling you is that I paid $54 from the store called Colors for their camera case for the GoPro to protect it in the water when you go down more than, I only used an external camera case for my GoPros when I go down more than 10 meters. Typically, I'll just use the camera, but no more, because this case is garbage. It's garbage. The plastic got brittle and the plastic broke off. Plus, you can see that the metal bar in there, which should be non-magnetic stainless, is rusted. Now, I don't know what you can see, but it's rusted, and the back plastic, if you can see the plastic at the hinge, is cracked. But it's cracked because it cracked while it was sitting in a box on the shelf. It didn't crack from something I did or dropped. It's been attached to this only. This is a stand I made to do outside work. It just attaches to here. It's never been in the ocean. It's never been underwater. It's only been on this stand, and it's only been there for less than 2 years. So the plastic itself from the company that the store bought these garbage cases from, plastic changes its composition if you leave it out in the sun, or if it gets hot, or if it gets chemicals on it. None of that happened, because when I leave it out in the sun, I put a piece of plywood over the top of it so the sun doesn't bake on the case. The stuff they sell here in the Philippines is garbage. Now, I'm not done yet. I still have some more notes. So, Mr. Willis, let's get to Mr. Willis. Mein Buntag, Mr. Willis. Mr. Willis says, Mein Buntag, Michael. Enjoyed your stream yesterday. Did the internet cut out after the 140 p.m.? Yeah? Well, that might have been 2 days ago. I think I had too many windows open that day. But yesterday's live stream started to get weak as well. So it's the holidays. The possibility exists that so many people went on the internet in the afternoon to talk to their family in America or other countries at night that the internet just got real slow, and I started losing people's interest. But it was 4 hours long, so it didn't matter. At 4 hours, I was done talking. That's about what I like, to keep it under 5 hours. Okay, so Mr. Willis agrees that the customer service in the Philippines is just garbage. It's just garbage. They will say anything. And proof of that is when I bought a brand new Acer computer in the BQ Mall. I paid $600 for it. Took it home. It didn't work. And I had a fight with the people for an hour and a half. Then threatened to go get the police. And when I walked out to go get the police, I had the computer for 13 hours, and I brought it back to the store. I took it home at 4 o'clock, and I brought it back the next morning at 10 o'clock. So what did I had it for like 16 hours. But I got it home at 6 o'clock, turned it on, it didn't work. What they wanted to do was take my $630 computer, not give me back my money, and upgrade me to a $1,000 Acer computer. So they wanted me to spend an additional $370 because they had nothing between $630 and $1,000, and they had to replace it with an Acer computer for whatever their reason was. I went. They not only are they extorting me because they have my money, but now they're extorting me for an additional 50% more than what I had to pay for a computer. I had about the $600 range in my mind to spend for a computer. That's reasonable. Now they want me to upgrade to the same make, but $370 more because they don't have an intermediate model. And this is in the BQ Mall on the ground floor. And what if the same thing happens? What should I do? Upgrade to a $1,500 computer next time? Let me get on to my next favorite subject, dental. The dentists here are a bunch of criminals. You don't know what they're doing in your mouth, number one. And I can show you this little piece of metal that I told the technician, the dental technician, I told him that his job sucked. I told the dentist that I was going to for 3 years that the job he did on my tooth was garbage. Why? He did a root canal, and he goes, I'll save you the trouble of doing a crown. I'll fill it, and they put the metal band around it, and it will last forever, theoretically. That was 1.5 years ago. So he did the root canal, and he does good work for the root canal, and he puts some small amount of filler in my tooth. And when he was mixing it, I said, that's not going to be enough. He goes, oh, we're going to layer it. I'm going, no, I don't want you to layer it. I want you to put it all in at once. And he gave me some nonsensical explanation that the filler was going to expand and it might crack the tooth. I'm going, but if you put it in 3 layers or 2 layers, it won't stick. This fell out Christmas Eve, this little piece of whatever it is. Was I right? Yeah, I was right. But before this fell out, 2 months ago, he put it in 3 stages. I told him you can't do it like that. You have to fill it all the way up with the first load of mix. He wouldn't do it. So one fell out 2 months ago, and I haven't been able to go back. I'm not going back to him. And the second one fell out Christmas Eve. So now I have a hole in my tooth that will fit, like an orange seed or a lemon seed in my tooth. Why? Because common sense says that after you put the first layer down, that moisture from your breath is going to get between you, the first filling and the second filling. Doesn't matter. It's not an epoxy. It doesn't emulsify the previous layer. It just sets on top of the next layer, on top of the layer. You might as well put paint between the 2 fillings. So I called him up and said, look, the filling fell out. He goes, you come back and we'll fill it up. So I asked him how much. He said 3,000 pesos. I said, but it's the one that's only 1 year old. He goes, sir, it's going to be 3,000 pesos. No argument, just it's going to be 3,000 pesos. I said, I'll find another dentist. He said, okay. He didn't care. He did not care. The doctors, they wanted to cut my foot off, the doctors. This is how seriously stupid the doctors wanted to cut my foot off. The possibility was the infection on my foot, that they couldn't figure out what the problem was, even though they did it. I went there. They dressed the wound. They cut the bad skin off the wound. They cut it all off. They cleaned the wound. The doctor looked at it. Come back tomorrow, we have to redress it. I said to him, aren't you going to do a culture? He goes, let's see what happens. But you should do a test to see what this problem is. He goes, we have to wait. We'll do with that. Don't worry. Well, all he gave me was about 4 or 5 lies. I was really distraught after they cut all the skin off my foot. There was a hole in my foot about that big on the top of my foot. After they cut all the dead skin off, I go back the next day and they dress it. It was $5. The next day, it was $8. And the next day after that, it was $10 to dress it. Same nurse, same room, same table I sat on. Went from $5 to $8 to $10. So I said to the doctor, aren't you going to do a culture? So we'll do a blood workup. And they did a blood workup. But they didn't do a culture. Well, they did a culture, and they didn't tell me to bring the culture to the testing center. And I never got a culture test. So they tested my blood for bacteria. They couldn't find anything wrong. But let me tell you what it was. They wanted, after 7 weeks, 3 hospitals and 5 doctors, and I don't know how many visits, 40,000 pesos later, they still wanted me to come back every week. And I got a subscriber named Clark Henderson on my channel, and he gave me some advice, and I took his advice, but his advice was different than the 5 doctors here in the Philippines. And it didn't work. His advice didn't work, but his advice was the best advice I got. By this time, I was getting ready to go back to New York. So now I had 5 doctors in the Philippines that did multiple visits, multiple dressings, multiple medications, 3 different types of medication, and 40,000 pesos later, Clark came on, gave me some advice. I tried his advice, and the cream that he explained would be the most beneficial. That didn't work either. So when I went to New York, 3 weeks after I get to New York, the wound is still this big, by the way. 7 months, and the wound is still 3 inches by 2 inches. 7 months. That's how big the wound. It got smaller, it got bigger. I wasn't taking any kind of medication except a couple of times they gave me penicillin or antibiotics. I go to New York, and 3 weeks later, the wound starts to heal up. In 2 months, I have skin over the whole wound. What did I do different? Nothing. I ate food. I drank water because I only drank distilled water. Oh, I had a water distiller in America, so I was distilling my own water. But in the Philippines, I was using pretty much distilled water. What did I do different? Well, I stopped eating their soy sauce in the Philippines. I stopped using Philippines salt. I stopped eating a certain kind of chip that Daisy used to like to buy, those little chips in 25 peso bags of chips. I stopped eating that. And basically, I just stopped eating their salt and their soy sauce, and I stopped using this product. It's called PATIS, P-A-T-I-S. And what I realized was that in America, I was using nothing that had MSG in it or some weird-ass chemical that they have on the label here that is MSG. The only thing I did different in America was I stopped eating Philippines salt, Philippines soy sauce, and Philippines patis. That's the only thing I did different, and my foot healed up. Oh, one more thing. In America, because I had to work 14 hours a day, I didn't drink any alcohol. But I was only drinking 2 or 3 shots of alcohol at night to go to sleep in the Philippines. I wasn't drinking like a half a bottle. Sometimes I'd have 1 shot and go to sleep, wake up in the middle of the night to use the restroom, and then I'd go take another shot and go right back to sleep. I had no problem. I didn't have an alcohol problem. That was the 3 things I stopped: salt, soy sauce, patis, and alcohol. 4 things. And the wound went away. I came back to the Philippines. I still hadn't realized what the difference was, and started eating the food again. And Daisy naturally put soy sauce or patis and salt in the food. And we still had some alcohol left because I had bought a case of it before I left for America. Well, within 2 weeks, the wound opened back up, and big, more than the size of a $50 or a 10 peso coin. That's the only thing different. So I realized that it's the food in the Philippines that made the wound bigger and prevented it from healing. But more than the wound, the alcohol. Something in the alcohol in the Philippines is poisonous to the human genome, and more specifically, the cheap rum that they sell here. And I know this for a fact because a friend of mine said a German had a problem with his leg, and they were going to amputate his leg in the Philippines. And he went back to Germany, and they put him on a strict diet in the hospital, and the wound on his leg healed up in a matter of 6 or 8 weeks. There is something in the food in the Philippines that is poisonous to the human genome. It is basically some sort of flavor enhancer, but it's added to the salt. if I have salt, Philippine salt, which I don't eat, my feet will swell up so big they won't fit inside my sneakers. And I'm just talking about some sprinkle like this. My feet will swell up in 20 minutes. They won't fit into my sneakers. However, if I eat Himalayan salt, I can eat the bottle of salt and nothing happens to my feet. So there's something in the salt, something in the alcohol, something in the magic masarap, and or something in their MSG products, and something in this, even though it doesn't say MSG on it, it's another chemical name for the product that makes my feet swell up and the wound come back. Because if I put this in my food 3 times a day, in a week, the wound opens up again. Now, Clark explained to me that it's called a compartmentalized bacteriological infection. Well, that might be, but there's something in these products that work with the compartmentalized bacteriological infection and opens up a wound that has been closed since August. And I had this for about 4 days. I used it as a flavor enhancer, and I have now a hole in my foot that the wound is starting to open up again. So if you people think that you're not being poisoned by the products that they sell over the counter in the Philippines, think again. Something is in the salt that I am more reactive to than anybody else, like the canary in the coal mine scenario. Something is in the magic masarap. Something is in this product called patis, because it's basically fish oil and salt. And something is in the alcohol. I'm just warning you people that if you have an infection that won't go away, chances are something in the food that you're eating is preventing your infection from going away. And I'm not kidding about this. They wanted to amputate my foot if it got much worse, and there was nothing wrong with my body's functions other than the fact that something in the food was causing a reaction to the compartmentalized bacteriological infection that I got from using a Chinese welding rod, and Daisy had the same reaction to the spatter from the welding rod. We both got the same infection on our feet, her on her ankle, myself on my foot, and it took about 4 months for Daisy's wound to get big, and then it took 4 months for it to go away. And she was a 24-year-old healthy woman at the time she got the burn on her leg. She got it first, and by the time hers was gone, almost, I started doing some welding, and the spatter got on the top of my foot, went right through my sneaker in 3-4 places. And within a few weeks, the wound started. And within a month after that, the wound was this big. Okay, so you are being poisoned by something in the food in the Philippines. I don't know what it is. I wouldn't say it's the salt, but it's something that has to do with a chemical that they're adding to almost any flavor enhancer and the alcohol. And I don't know what it is, but I do know the German that went back to Germany had an ulcer on his leg where they were going to amputate his leg. 6 weeks in the hospital, the ulcer went away in Germany. So it's something in the food here. Now I'm going to go to read the comments, and then I have a few more notes. And then, glasses. Let's talk about glasses. Okay, so you see these glasses? This is the glasses that I had with tape. These are from readers.com. Okay, I've had this pair of glasses in my pocket for 18 months or on my desk, and then I had the tape on it. 18 months. I paid $9.99. I bought 12 pairs for $130 with the shipping. Some of them were like $11. So it was $130. And then the shipping was to America, and then someone brought them from America to the Philippines and gave me the box that I paid for. And you can't buy a pair of reading glasses in the Philippines. Not possible. Not possible to buy a decent pair of reading glasses in the Philippines. These were $10, and they weren't even on sale. They have a heavy-duty frame with the springs that still work. Still work, the springs. The springs still work after a year and a half, 1.5 years. The springs still work. If you go to an ophthalmologist in the Philippines and they check your eyes, and what they'll do is they'll give you a prescription for readers. So one eye might be different than the other. And they'll tell you it's a custom job, come back tomorrow. When all they do is take a pair of 10 peso lenses, frames. The frames aren't worth 10 pesos. How do I know that? Because when you go to the bus depot, you can buy 50-cent readers, 50 peso readers. Well, but if you buy them and you hack the guy down, you can hack them down to 40 pesos for a set of reader glasses. Well, if you go to an ophthalmologist, they charge you 1,200 pesos for a pair of glasses that they give you, and they have the same frames that the guy is selling you in the bus terminal for 40 pesos, and the same lenses. Except the difference is, if one eye is different than the other, they'll give you 2 different quality lenses. But here's the kicker. They tell you the glasses are custom. They have to custom make the glasses come back tomorrow. Custom glasses. They're not custom glasses. They take a 20/40 lens out of one box, and they take a 20/60 lens out of another box, and they pop them in 10 peso frame, and they charge you 1,200 pesos or $24 for a set of glasses that, if you knew what your numbers were, you could buy 2 pairs of glasses from the guy in the bus terminal for 100 pesos, pop one lens out, mix the lens with the other lens, and you'd have a pair of 1,200 peso glasses for 100 pesos. That's what they did to me. So that's what I did. I bought these pair. And if you have those readers, those 1,200 peso readers, and you don't keep them in a case in your pocket, they will break within weeks of you owning them, or the lenses will pop out within days. That's the quality of service you can get in the Philippines. So let's go to the hello, Michael McFarland. Welcome to the machine, Michael McFarland. I'm going to read the comments. I see there's a bunch of them. That's right, Lefty. That's what we used to say about Japanese stuff coming into. Well, this is all Chinese junk. This is all third-party quality stuff. Mr. Willis, Tom Patrick, what's going on with the visas for U.S. citizen in the new? I have no idea, Tom. I don't read the local papers. I had my visa done last week. That's another thing I want to tell you. You're getting bad information from other Philippines channels that give you information about visas. I don't know what's on their mind. I don't know what they drink, what kind of medication they're on, or what is wrong with them that they can't comprehend basic math. But I was listening to an absolutely worthless commentary a week ago, how much visa fees are. And the channel owner said that visa fees are $60 a month. I mean, really, dude? You've been in the Philippines, what, 3 years now? And you just said in your live stream that visa fees are $60 a month. They're not $60 a month. But this is the kind of bad information that you get. My visa fees were 2,930 pesos for 2 months. That's $60 for 2 months. That's $30 a month. That hasn't changed. One thing that did change is that they won't give me a 6-month visa in Bohol. So my visa was due on December 30th. So I was in the city and I had the renewal. I paid also, the one thing that I'm a little bit upset about is I paid for the express service lane, and that was December 18th, and I have to come back January 6th to pick up my passport and my stamp on my passport. Now, the man was busy, but I still paid for an express service. But the point is, there is no more express service lane. Maybe if they have time, they can do it, but they don't guarantee it. But you still pay for it. And I paid 1,000 pesos for the express service lane. 8 months ago, when I had the express service done, my visa stamp was 1,920 pesos, 1,000 pesos less. So because I said I don't want the express service. So they said, come back in 2 weeks. So that's okay. I saved $20. I got to go there anyway. I got to go shopping. But now you pay for the express service and they don't give it. There's no more express service, but you pay for the express service. Now, to have this tooth fixed, I'm going to go to the J Mall in Cebu, and I'll pay them for my 6-month visa stamp. There, I think they still do a 6-month visa stamp. Other than that information, I can't help you. Right. Tom Patrick hit the nail on the head. Now, I was told the same thing that Tom Patrick said. Tom Patrick said the things here in the U.S. are junk from China. That's true. But the things in the Philippines are from China, and they are the Chinese rejects that no other country will take. What he said is the absolute truth. There is something called in China. There's something in China that's 10 miles long with warehouses the size, huge warehouses, the size of huge shopping malls or bigger, and dozens of acres big, these warehouses are. Every rejected product that China has ever made that hasn't rusted to the point where they can't sell it. That includes pipe fittings, that includes cell phones, computers, tents, tarpaulins with bad eyelets, things that weren't plated properly, things that are mismatched plywood, where I bought 50 sheets of plywood and it wasn't square. The edges weren't square. It was a 1/4 inch off square on the long end. Everything that was ever made in China that's a reject goes to this 10-mile stretch with all these warehouses that say what they sell on it. And then buyers go to China, Philippines buyers or purveyors go to China, and they walk down this street and they buy truckloads or railway loads of this garbage in China, and then they ship it to the Philippines in cargo containers. And that's what we're getting here. So Tom Patrick is right. That's what they sell here. They sell the garbage that the other countries rejected before it was shipped to the country. Steve 25901. Hello, Steve. Welcome to the machine. Gogo Bobo Sister says never buy an Acer computer. And that is the best advice I could ever give anybody. Because they are garbage. And if you go into a repair shop and you look at most of the repairs that are being done, they're on Acers. They're not on Asus computers. HB stands for horrible product. I hope not. Warren H just bought me the X360 HP Hewlett Packard X360 15-inch touchscreen laptop, and he's working on getting it shipped to me. So he paid $2,500 for that laptop. I hope it's not garbage, because otherwise I'll have to ship it back to Australia, which could take months. So let's think that, Steve, you are lying. HP stands for hallelujah, brother. Who said HP? Well, lefty all around. HP stands for hallelujah, people. For that's what it is. Let's hope that HP, I don't know anything. And you know what? The one thing I do know, it's a transistorized circuitry. So I don't know exactly what that means, but I remember some of the specs. It's got a 1 terabyte drive in it. No, a 0.5 terabyte solid state drive, touchscreen, Windows 10, but it came loaded. And Warren paid a lot of money for that computer, and I hope it doesn't break. Emperor Strogan, are you going to move back to America? No, I'm not going to move back to America. I like it here. The fact that I have to deal with all this garbage, that's something else altogether. But I have no intention of moving back to America. And the reason is, in case you want to know, I like to swim, and the water temperature here remains the same at about 78 or 80 degrees all year. You know what, Tom Patrick? I was looking at the prices of rum. Captain Morgan's rum, I don't remember the price of that, but I was looking at it in the liquor store in the BQ Mall. I will tell you. Now, I was buying the $2.06 rum by the case because I used it for mouthwash, number one. I used it on mosquito bites, which it killed the bacteria from the mosquito bites. Believe it or not, I used it for mosquito bites. I used it for mouthwash to brush my teeth with, and I used it for gifts. That was $2.06 per bottle. And I used it, probably gave away half the bottles for gifts, so I bought it by the case. However, if you buy good rum, it was $40 a bottle for rum. I forgot the name of the rum, but it was $40 a bottle. And if you wanted to buy Grey Goose, 700-liter bottle of Grey Goose. Now listen to this, a 700-milliliter bottle for Grey Goose was $52. I mean, I don't know what the price of Grey Goose is in America, but $52. I'm going to tell you what a 700-liter bottle is. Maybe it was 600 liters. It was smaller than this bottle, and it was $52. I could tell you right now, I could drink that bottle in shots. If I was in the drinking mood, I would drink that by myself in 2 days. Now, I don't drink. I haven't even had 1 ounce of alcohol since August 7th or 8th. I haven't had 1 ounce of beer or rum or wine or tequila. But if I was going to drink a half a bottle of Grey Goose, a half a liter of Grey Goose in one night, not mixed, clean, neat, would be half a bottle would be a reasonable amount. The problem with that is here in the Philippines, when I did buy a bottle of Grey Goose on the few occasions where I went to a party, everybody wants to taste it. Can I try that? At the time it was $47 a bottle. You kind of keep that to yourself. Okay, that's a lot of money. And what the problem with that is, one of the guys had a major problem with this guy, stopped going to parties because of Andrew, is he would just put the bottle up to his lips and take 3 or 4 gulps. That's not how you drink Grey Goose, in case anybody's wondering. All right. Michael McFarland stays away from salt. Baggy Eyes says it's population control. That's what it is, Baggy Eyes. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt in my mind that these people are being subjected to some sort of chemical warfare. And me too now, because I live here, but now I have 0 salt intake. The soy sauce on my shelf, I haven't touched that bottle except to move it out of the way in 3 months. Now, somebody else comes over and wants soy sauce. I have all the condiments. The magic masarap, I gave it away at a birthday party 3 weeks ago. I had 4 kilos of salt. I've gone through maybe 2 ounces of salt in the last 4 months, 5 months. Okay. There's something chemical added to these products. I don't know what it is. And it might not even be a chemical that is on the chart. That it might be some super secret chemical that they're adding to the salt. Because what is it? Salt is salt. There shouldn't be anything in salt. In America, I could cover my product with salt. And I did. I love salt. Nothing happened. My foot healed up, sprinkling all the salt I could possibly think. I didn't know there was a difference at that time, but that's how much salt I was using in the Philippines. I just would, before I even tasted anything, I'd hit it with the salt. Pizza. Almost cover the top of the pizza with salt before I left for America and when I got to America. Nothing changed with my salt intake, except that my foot healed using the same amount of salt and soy sauce. No problem. American soy sauce, Kiko Man in America, no problem. Kiko Man here, my foot falls off. So I bought. One thing that I did figure out by the end of my vacation, by the end of my work vacation in America, was that the salt was probably at fault. And I bought 5 kilos of salt from America. Can't get to it. It's in a box, in a container, at the back of the container somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I bought 5. I do have 5 kilos of American salt. I just can't get to it. One day. John Boone Bean, welcome to the machine. Steve says, me too, Michael. So I'm back on my commentary. I don't know what Steve is talking about, but I'll agree with Steve 25901. Ads, ADS. MSG, Steve says, makes his eyeballs feel like they're exploding. I can tell you my aunt died from MSG poisoning. She knew she was allergic to it. She knew the Chinese restaurant that she went to put it in the food. She told them, don't put any MSG in the food. And apparently they got the order mixed up backwards and put extra MSG in. She got a headache at the restaurant to the point where her and my uncle had to leave the restaurant. And by the time she got home, she died. So, I don't know if it was the MSG. Well, we all know it was the MSG. She couldn't sue the restaurant, though. Couldn't prove that that's where she got the MSG because she had left the restaurant. Now, John Boone Bean put up a really cool, 2 cool videos yesterday. If you want to go see some information about Holland, one video John Boone Bean put up had to do with corking wine bottles. Another video he put up had to put the cork in the wine bottle with the machine. And another video he put up was him processing the grapes and then the distilling process of the grapes. And another video we put up was about antique motorcycles, antique Harley-Davidson motorcycles. And remember, he's in Holland, so they had different versions of Harley-Davidson, but it was a pretty cool video. Mr. Willis says, yes, the food is makahilo. Makahilo means poison. Filipino soy sauce, especially the cheap ones, are not made with soybeans. They are made with hydrolyzed soy protein, which is a form of MSG. Also, MSG seasonings have MSG. All right, we're going to go get the soy sauce and see if, I'm pretty sure Mr. Willis is correct. And one thing I know for sure is that this is cheap soy sauce. It's $2.50 a gallon. So hold on a minute. Now, I will tell you that the Kiko Man soy sauce that I bought here when I got back from America, because I bought a gallon of soy sauce Kiko Man in America. It was a closeout sale for a warehouse I went to, and I can't get to that. It's with the box of salt. So, Mr. Willis says it's made from hydrolyzed soy protein. So let's find out if that's what I have here, because this stuff makes my feet swell. Here's see this cap? I'm gonna show you something. See this cap of the soy sauce? If I fill that up one time and drink it, my feet will swell up to the shoes that they're in now. They won't fit in the shoes. It's not that they'll fit tight. They won't fit in the shoes. If I fill this cap up and drink that much soy sauce, within 20 minutes, I have to take the shoes off. In 30 minutes, I could never get the shoes back on. That's how much my feet are. That's how allergic I am. So, yep. The ingredients are water, hydrolyzed soybean protein, iodized salt, caramel as color, monosodium glutamate as flavor enhancer. Citric acid is an adulterant, an anticoagulation. Potassium sulfate as preservative, disodium insulfate, disodium glyphosate, as flavor enhancers. F, D, and C yellow, number 5, F, D, and C yellow, number 6, F, D, and C red as food color. Allergen information contains soybeans. Yep. The main ingredient is water, and the second ingredient is hydrolyzed soybeans. So, Mr. Willis is correct. Thank you, Mr. Willis. And then the third product was MSG, if I remember correctly. So the way they label something is by weight. How much percentage is in the first product? The most abundant product is water. The second most abundant product is hydrolyzed soybean. The third is iodized salt. The fourth is caramel as color, and the fifth is monosodium glutamate. Okay, so monosodium glutamate is the fifth highest content product in the soy sauce, and that's pure poison to 90% of anybody who will ever eat it. It's poison, monosodium glutamate. So I will not give that away, because whenever I have guests, they like soy sauce. I will not use it, and I will just won't use soy sauce. Mr. Willis says, hidden MSG can be in foods in different names. Anything with hydrolyzed has MSG. Anything with hydrolyzed has MSG, or natural flavors is MSG. Yeah, they might consider MSG a natural flavor, being that it's been around for 50 years now. They are poisoning the food. That's all I know. And what I do know is that that cap full of soy sauce would make my feet swell up like a football. I don't know, Tom Patrick, you're probably right. It says MSG counteracts the antibiotics. Mr. Willis uses only Hawaiian sea salt, the Himalayan salt. Yeah, well, Himalayan salt, nobody sold it when I lived in New York, where I lived, but I had no problem with Morton's iodized salt. No problem at all. I pounded that stuff on my food. So I have 5 kilos of Morton's iodized salt. The Hebrew iodized salt, I don't know, it's blessed by Rabbi somebody, not Rabbi Chewbacca. Princess Anud, welcome to the machine. Princess, you were up late last night doing a live stream. God, you're doing a live stream at 1 o'clock in the morning, walking around your neighborhood. Princess Anud has a channel where she walks around her neighborhood. Last night at 1 o'clock, I looked at it. I was falling asleep, Princess. So, and you were wide awake, and you're a little bit younger than me. So I wanted to say something, but I was laying down, and I'm going, I'm not getting up. So Princess Anud has a channel where she does a lot of live streams and uploads. So if you want to see a Filipinas version of the Philippines, Princess Anud would be a good channel to check out. Lefty all around. Lefty, go, Bo sister. You are what you, ye what not to eat or drink. Yeah, what not to eat or drink. I got to tell you, I am, all the infections are gone. Everything is healed up. But from drinking this Patisse, I did an experiment for about 4 or 5 days. I used a small amount of this 3 times a day. And the wound on my foot, that was 100% healed up. It was gone. Over a month, it was completely closed. 3 days of drinking, just sprinkling this on. I mean, I didn't even consume an ounce of this in 3 or 4 days. So less than 1 ounce of this, and the wound on my foot opened up. Stopped 5 days ago, wound is closed. It's like, drink it, open wound, stop drinking it, 5 days later, closed wound. So I know it's a product or a chemical in the Patisse. Red Horse is full of chemicals too. Well, certainly the rum, absolutely beyond any doubt the tequila, because I was buying $2.50 tequila. No. $3.50 tequila. And that, when I got back, I told you I buy tequila and rum by the case. I stopped drinking, and I had a little bit left of rum and a little bit left of tequila, a couple of bottles, when they say a little bit. And as soon as I stopped, the wound went away. But when I came back, I was using the rum for mouthwash and mosquito repellent or mosquito wipe. But I did drink some tequila also. So between the two of them, they opened up my wound. As soon as I stopped, the wound went away. Sinsan in the Philippines. I don't know what Sinsan is. Maybe it's a flavor enhancer. Okay. John Boone Bean. Yeah, well, they can call it whatever they want. It's Makahilo, as Mr. Willis said. Makahilo means poison. Propylene glycol, which is found in antifreeze. Yeah, glycol has been in wine since the 1960s. Boone's Farm apple wine was very sweet, and the sweetness of Boone's Farm apple wine and other wines for 30 years was from glycol, and glycol is antifreeze. Mr. Willis is correct about that. I don't know, Lefty all around. Go, go, Bobo sister. I don't know. I don't drink beer. Since I've been in the Philippines, it's going to be 7 years next week. In 2 weeks, it'll be 7 years. I have drank less than 3 bottles of beer, but that's over the course of 7 years. So I can't tell you anything about beer. I don't drink beer. And all 2 of those beers were that San Miguel, and I didn't like it. And one was a Heineken, and I didn't finish it. So I don't drink beer. I don't drink, and I haven't had even 1 ounce of wine since I've been in the Philippines in 7 years. I don't like alcohol. I only drank alcohol to go to sleep. Daisy and I used to have a cup of coffee in the afternoon, and the alcohol would help me go to sleep at night. But I don't drink coffee in the afternoon anymore, and I have no problems going to sleep by 9 o'clock. All right, Lefty All Around is doing a news update. Lefty All Around, you can post all the news, and if you want to post a link, feel free to do so. I don't pay attention to American politics, and I haven't read anything about Philippines politics since the day I got here. I don't care about Philippines politics. You always get a 6-month visa. Well, let me tell you what they did, Michael McFarland. They used to ask us if we wanted a 6-month visa at the office that I had in Bohol. And if you chose that option, you would pay for your 6-month visa up front. And then you would pay an additional 2,000 pesos for a service fee for somebody to bring your visa to Cebu. But now they're not offering that service. There was a sign that said 6-month visas are available, inquire within. And then when you inquired within, at the immigration, at the stamp office, they would say, yes, sir, we can do that for you. You'll have to speak with the manager, I guess. And he would deal with that issue, and you'd pay him. And then he would bring your paperwork to Cebu. He would be basically a courier, and then bring your paperwork back. They no longer avail that service here. So I would have to go to the Cebu, which is not a problem going to Cebu anyway. Go, Bobo sister, get 1 year at the airport. I didn't know you could do that. And when I get off a plane from America after being up for 36 hours, you want to hear a funny story? Go, Bobo sister. All right, so when I was in America, I put my passport in the box with the salt. That's in a box, in a container, in the back of a cargo container somewhere. I have it. I put my passport in there by accident. So for 5 days, 6 days before I left, I had to work on getting an emergency passport, which I got from the the passport consulate on 375 Varick Street, I think it was, in New York City. I think it's 375 Varick. It's right around 375, 370 Varick Street, something like that. Anyway, I get off the plane in Manila, and I got to go through immigration. And the customs officer, I don't have anything on me except cash. I had I had an identification tag on my neck. And the guy says to me, "Do you have anything that you want to declare?" So I said, "No, sir." He goes, "Do you have $10,000? "No, sir." Or more. And I said, "No, sir." But actually I did, but I didn't even realize it. I had like $2,000 in my wallet. I had $10,000 in cash in another place. But either way, so the guy goes, "Can I see your forward ticket?" And I'm going, "What?" Because I hadn't slept in 3 days. You don't sleep that much. "Your onward ticket." I said, "No, sir, I don't need an onward ticket. I live here." So I'm thinking, "What else do you want to ask me?" He's going, "I'm going to need to see your onward ticket, sir." And I'm going, "Sir, I live here. I don't need an onward ticket." He goes, "Are you on a tourist visa?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Then you need an onward ticket." And I went like this. I went, "Oh, God. Oh," like this. Okay, sorry, my fault. I lost my passport. This is, as you can see, the passport was issued the day before yesterday. I forgot about the onward ticket." And he goes, "Just go ahead, get out of here, get out of here." He started laughing because I forgot that I needed an onward ticket, and I had told him, I said that this is a new passport. I forgot all about it. So they were pretty cool, and so but I didn't think to get. Plus, it was 2:00 in the morning, so I don't know that you can get a year at the airport. Go Bobo sister. Can you just go to the airport, any airport, and get a 1-year visa, or do you have to? No, you probably have to be coming in that day. Lefty all around. He says, "I want to say I appreciate your president's effort trying to get the 2 Canadians who are being detained illegally." All right, look, Lefty, you can post, like I said, all the political stuff you want. I'm not going to reference it, but you're welcome to post it. I don't care about politics. I don't believe a single politician in the entire world is worth the effort to discuss, because they don't tell you what the truth is. As far as I'm concerned, they're never going to tell you what the truth is. They're never going to tell you what's really on their mind. And all of that stuff, all that political stuff, it's all gaming. They game with each other. They all know what the outcome is going to be 6 months before you read about it in the paper. So, Lefty all around, post all that garbage that you want. I'm not going to read a word of it anymore, but you're welcome to post it. The J Mall, that's where I go also, Michael McFarland. Yep, that's where I go. Now, let's see. I have the same Asus right on my desk, Tom Patrick, the Asus i5, I think. The X53. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the i5 X53. I don't see the number on it anymore. Yeah. Intel Inside Core i5, Windows 7, aluminum frame, the Asus i5. I bought it in 2011, and it still works fine. Emperor Strogan, Fazigami, it's amazing. It was a long research project that I worked on for 10 years. Thank you for the compliment. It is amazing what's on the dollar bill, yeah? Thank you for the compliment. I just heard you say the container you have. No, Tom Patrick, I will not share the cost of what it cost me for the shipping container or how to get it here. To answer your question, that's if you want to know how to get a shipping container here, and I will, you can become a member of my Patreon account or send a $200 donation, and I will give you all the details on how much it costs, who to go to, where not to go, what company to use, what company not to use. And I do not share the information on how to get containers to the Philippines. In fact, if you want that information, I can give you enough information that you may save $2,000 to $3,000 or $4,000 on getting a container here, and I'm going to charge people $200 for that information, and nobody is required to pay it. Nobody is required to even be upset about that. I want $200 for the information on what it costs to get a shipping container to the Philippines, how to get the shipping container to the Philippines, who to use, or certainly who not to use, what pieces of information you should have before you get a shipping container, what companies in America, what companies in the Philippines to use and not to use, and the customs broker. And anytime you think that my information isn't worth $200, here's what I will tell you. You, everyone, no one knows how to do it. No one tells you how to do it once they learn. And if you try to do it on your own, you're just about guaranteed between $2,000 and $5,000 in fines and penalties. So if you don't think it's worth $200, not a problem. If you want to bitch about the $200, not a problem. But that's what I'm going to charge to tell people how to get containers to the Philippines. And I don't necessarily care one way or the other if someone does take that my advice or not. Here's what's going to happen. They'll say it's not worth $200, but you'll pay $250 to talk to a lawyer for a half an hour or a doctor, and they only charge you more money for the next part. I'm going to save you thousands by using my advice. But here's what'll happen if you try to figure it out on your own. I don't know anybody that's done it without the complications I just spoke about. But none of those people gave me one piece of information, even though I asked them how to do it. They said, you'll have to figure it out on your own. So I've tried to figure it out on my own, and I paid 225,000 pesos in fines, $4,500 in fines. And I did everything right. But I did everything wrong by doing everything right, because I tried to figure it out on my own. So now, if you want the information, how much it costs, who to use, and how to get it here, depending on what you're shipping, for $200, I'll give you that information. Other than that, good luck. Page high, Mr. Fazio, lower extremity edema of that nature, see a doc, not necessarily in the Philippines. Yeah, been through that. 100 different conversations about that information. Thank you. I know what the, listen, Page high, what did you not hear anything I said? It was the food I ate. Did you not hear what I said? it was something in the food that made the infection blossom. Did you not hear me talk about it for 15 minutes? Really? Really? The infection was caused by bad garbage welding rod from China. I'll digress. Something in the welding rod, it was not a viral infection. It was a compartmentalized bacteriological infection from a welding rod spatter. Daisy and I both got it. She got it first. I got it 6 months later. I've had this conversation a dozen times in a dozen different live streams. I'm not, God almighty, I don't know what part of the conversation you came in, but how many times do I have to repeat myself when I explain the entire procedure on at least 5 or 6 different live streams over the last 6 months? And here I am getting advice again to see a doctor. The doctors, no doctors, not in America, not in the Philippines, no hospitals in the Philippines, nobody knew what was wrong with my foot. These people are all stupid. You pay them big money and they gave you 40,000 pesos I spent on doctors and hospital bills, and no one knew what the problem was. I figured it out on my own. It was the food I was eating. Now, you've been a subscriber of mine for months, if not years. Why have you not listened to this conversation I've had a dozen times? I don't know. Salt is made from evaporating seawater, and they could easily add anything else. Paige High wants Fazio for president. You don't listen. Nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to me. I just did a dissertation on the poison that's in the salt, in the soy sauce. Other people confirmed hydrolyzed anything is poison. And I have people telling me to go see a doctor. Even I confirmed it with a German man that had the same problem. They wanted to amputate his leg. And the people are telling me to go see a doctor. What? Go see a doctor. Where? Go see a doctor. Page High, directly to you. 5 doctors, 3 hospitals, 40,000 pesos. No one told me maybe it's the food I was eating. They all had different medicines and antibiotics. The doctor who was the head doctor at a major hospital in New York City gave me advice too, and his advice faltered when it came to repair. It was my own observation of what I eat that cured my foot, which is why I made such an issue of it. And here you are trying to explain things about salt. I'm telling you, something is in the salt. I don't care that the salt came from the ocean. I don't care about simple chemistry, but hypertension, diabetes, or a weaker pump can cause fluid retention in lower extremities. I don't have those problems. I don't have those problems. Page High, I never had those problems. I don't have them now. What I had was I was eating poison. This is how many times I have explained this to people. My ankles, my lower extremities, my blood pressure, everything is perfect. I don't even take aspirin or Tylenol. I haven't taken medication of any kind except the antibiotics from the doctors in 15 years. Once I had a cold 3 years ago for a few days. I don't have heart problems. I don't have diabetes. I don't have lower extremity problems. I have a problem with the garbage that they're adding to the food. Page high. There, I've said it now 4 times in this live stream, maybe 5, possibly 6, and you are still talking about sea salt, where it comes from. It's something they are adding to the food, not the salt itself. You can believe whatever you want. I'm telling you, there's a chemical in the salt that's not coming from the ocean. There's something they're spraying on it, adding to the distillation process. Something in the soy sauce, something in this food additive and preservative products, something else. Page high. Listen to what I'm saying to you, because you're not listening. Page high. Michael Fazio for president. Page high says, Michael Fazio for president. I wonder when I get down to the bottom of the comments if Page High is still going to keep that comment on the page, or he's going to say, I hope Michael Fazio loses the 2020 election. Empress Strogan, wow. I've been subscribed for about 8 years. Thank you, Empress Strogan. So you're the man who mentioned Fazigami. Yes, Empress Strogan. You can go to my homepage. Go to my homepage and click on Angels on the Ark up on the top under the dollar bill. It'll bring you to Amazon.com's website where the book is available for $2.99. And it's Kindle ready. And it's it was 1,990 pages as an ebook, but Kindle, because of the size of the pages, it's 1,770 pages with 130 pictures. It's $2.99, and it's an ebook only. And it's 28 megabytes. So you can't put it on a cell phone. You got to put it on a desktop or or a laptop. All right. Go. Okay, Page High. Okay, so Page High says, I was talking about your fluid retention in your lower extremities, not infection. I know what you were talking about, and I am telling you what the infection was caused by. So I know that you are an internal and or cardiology field expert, but you don't listen, Page High. I've had this conversation a dozen times that there's nothing wrong with my blood pressure, except maybe you raised it up a few notches. There's nothing wrong. I don't have water retention in my ankles. There's nothing wrong with my blood circulation in my feet. I don't have the numbing of toes. My feet don't swell up when I sit or stand for hours on end. My feet are not swollen now. My feet swell up when I eat something with the salt in the Philippines. I remember that you have some kind of medical background, but for somebody with medical background that you're not listening or haven't listened to my explaining to people, I don't have those issues. I don't have any medical conditions whatsoever. Nothing. No problems. No water retention. No swelling of the ankles. Nothing. And then I cut my hand like this. 30 seconds later, it stops bleeding. 3 days later, it's gone. My body heals up just like I did when I was 25 years old. Only the right foot from the welding rod infection that I have now explained more than 200 times in live streams on different days in the last year and a half, and you can't remember that? And you're a doctor? Really? Let's see if you still want me to be president in 2020. You could be anything that you want, but you're not listening. Okay. All right, it's all good. He still wants me to be president. Page high, says Fazio. Page high. I'm a really serious dude when it comes to explaining. Now, I wouldn't expect, if I said it once, I wouldn't expect anybody to remember it. But I've had this, I've done live streams on my feed. I expect people to remember certain things, but except for the possibility I might have a little bit of a bad attitude or a disposition sometimes, there's nothing else wrong with me. So thanks for Page high. You can't hurt my feelings. Okay. Page high says, Fazio, I like you, sir. You're the man. Thank you, Page high. I'm not mad at you either. I'm not mad at you anymore. 10 minutes ago, I was a little bit upset. Not upset. Just, part of the show. You got to understand it's all part of the show. So, all right, lefty all around. Chemicals here are... Page high just came in. He was only commenting, my friend. Upset. So, I'm sorry. I apologize. Page high. If you ever come, I know that you've been a subscriber, follower for many years too, but I lost my control there for a few. Now I'm much better now, Page high. Thank you very much. I hope that you're still going to vote for me for Michael Fazio, President 2020, Polyhogue. Okay, Page high. Yep. All part of the show, my friend. All part of the show. So, Scott Del Fuego, the wordsmith, is here. And Michael Fazio is working hard daily to prepare and provide great entertainment and YouTube content for the viewers. Consider joining Patreon and see more, as well as support Philippines exploits. Thank you very much, sir. Well, Page high. All right. Page high retaliated with, I did hear the whole dissertation, but you can cut the smart-ass stuff. Whoa! See, it's not really fair to Page high, though, because he really doesn't have a platform to get back at me. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to cut the smart-ass stuff out now. Look at it like this. Mr. Willis is in the house. No problem, Page high. I don't have a problem with you. Slim Jim. Slim Jim is here. Cut the... See, now, Page high, he has a valid point. I was being a smart ass. Okay. Slim Jim is being... Slim Jim's being... You have an attitude problem? I find that hard to believe. Slim Jim has followed me and my exploits, as Scott Del Fuego said, as long or longer than Page high. So I was being an asshole. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about it. I lost my mind there. I'm much better now. And talking about much better, let me go back to a show note. Something I really wanted to talk to you about is refrigerators. You want to believe, okay, so let's talk about something simple. Teflon pots and pans. In the Philippines, garbage. 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 The first time it gets overheated, it blisters off like a paint. These Teflon, and I paid $12 for a Teflon coated pan here. And Daisy and I were cooking together. I mean, I will admit that it got hot, but I will not admit it got hot enough to blister off the Teflon. And it was just a few weeks old, and the Teflon blistered off like paint. They're garbage. And I have one from America that I had in my house before I left America. I had it probably from the early 2000s, a Teflon coated pan. 2001, 2002. I bought it in Florida. I bought it part of a $60 Martha Stewart set. $60 for pots and pans. And it's still coated with Teflon, and it still works like a Teflon coated pot will. Daisy and I, now I only just brought that back from America in May. But Daisy and I bought one, I don't know, last December. Like, let's just pick in the month, last December. And it lasted 2 weeks, and the Teflon blistered off. Teflon pots and pans in the Philippines, and we paid $12, and it was a small one. Let me show you what happened to a stainless steel pan we bought last December. I'm not joking. This is garbage what they sell here. They should be arrested and put in jail for theft, strong arm robbery, call it whatever you want. These people that sell this garbage into the major department stores should be. Let me show you what is called a stainless steel pan that's 1 year old. And I'll show you my pot. You can't even use this piece of garbage. And why can't you use it? Because it rusted. There's my glasses. There they are. It rusted. This stainless steel pot, if I go like that, it's rusted. It's magnetic stainless. It is garbage. It's total. It's not. I didn't even use it for a few months. It rusted. R-U-S-T-E-D. Rusted. See the brown spots in there? If you cook with it, it's rusted. Rusted. It tastes like metal. And it's a stainless steel pot. And it's not. It didn't last 4 months. When I got back from America, I have stainless steel pots, but they're in a container, in a box, at the back of the cargo container, and I can't find them. But I have stainless steel pans from the Martha Stewart, a different Martha Stewart set that I bought back in 2001 to furnish a rental I had. It's rusted. It's rusted. Rusted. Cook something in it, tastes like metal. Stainless steel pot, Philippines quality. Stainless steel pot, rusted after a week. Rusted. But this pot, this Teflon coated pot, is now 18 years old, and it's still a non-stick pot. Even though most of the Teflon is gone, you can cook an egg in here or fry something up with butter, and it doesn't stick to the pot. And it's 18 years old. 18 years. 18 years, and it's still, the Teflon didn't blister off. And this pot was left on the stove several times, almost red hot, and the Teflon didn't come off. American-made Martha Stewart, and that was a garbage pot in 2001, lasted 18 years. And a brand new Teflon pot in the Philippines didn't last 18, it didn't last, it lasted months. So Let's talk about refrigerators. Refrigerators in the Philippines, baby. You want to know what goes wrong with the brand new refrigerators? You want to know? You're not going to believe it. Not going to believe it. My Boston Bay 11.5 cubic foot refrigerator. Brand new. Well, Daisy and I bought it 3 years ago, or 3.5 years ago. Brand new. If you put it on a level surface, the doors closed because there's a tapered plastic bearing that closes the doors. And then once the door closes, the magnet is supposed to have enough energy in the magnet to suck the magnetic seal to the metal door, to the metal frame, and seal off and make an airtight barrier. Well, that's just normal. I had an Alona 25 cubic foot refrigerator in America that was made in the 1980 or 81 era, and I discarded it in 2013 as junk when I moved to the Philippines. So it was it 81, 91, 101, 111, 113. 32 years old. And it's a 25 cubic foot Alona refrigerator I had. 25 years. And the magnetic strip worked just fine. The refrigerator worked just fine. Nothing was wrong with that refrigerator except it was really old. I mean, you know, and the glass trays were all original glass trays. I just junked it for sheet metal. Said, how much longer can this thing last? I threw it out. So I get to the Philippines. I have to buy a new refrigerator for my house here. And we buy one. The magnets didn't last 6 months, and they demagnetize. They become less powerful. The door just opens up when you walk across the floor. Okay. So we had to put elastic straps, the kind of elastic that you'll put in like a embroidery, like if you want to have flowers around your neck, or like an elastic waistband that you sew into the fabric. That's how you fix the refrigerators here. Not just me, but you can go into almost any household in the Philippines and see some sort of a rubber band or elastic strap that holds the refrigerator doors closed. Why? Because the rubber magnetic strip on brand new refrigerators, standard operating failures are the magnetic strips. And what would be more important to fail than the motor, than the magnetic strip? Nothing. Only the magnetic strip failing. Hey, I'm surprised that if the electric companies don't pay them to put cheap magnets in the doors, because then the door opens up, the cold comes out, the air conditioner comes on, because the motor heats up to make the refrigerator cold and pumps hot air into the room. Then the air conditioner comes on to pump cold air into the room. And you now have a refrigerator with magnetic strips that are 6 months old that don't hold the door shut. And you have to go out and figure out a way to put an elastic band. Some people use padlock, hasps. Okay, so now I had a refrigerator that was 6 months old then Daisy went and bought some elastic, and we put a copper wire hook with some, it was like a number 6 copper wire with the insulating on it. And we put tape over that, and Daisy sewed a loop around it, and we put an elastic band on the freezer and the refrigerator, because within 1 week of each other, the magnet part, strength of the magnets on both the top, the door, it's an upper and bottom, and the ice box and the refrigerator, the magnets gave way the same week, within a week. This is the kind of garbage that they sell you in the Philippines. And I'm not done yet. So I'm going to go back to my see, Page High still wants me to be president. He wants me to be president. He needs me to be president. Oh my God. He demands that I become president. He got me. Page High, he got me. He got me good. He hit me in the pocketbook. He hit me where it hurts. How do I, I'm up, oh God, I am Page High, the biggest, strongest. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Oh God. Oh God. I'm so sorry. Page High. Oh God. I got crocodile tears. I'm sorry. For $20. Crocodile tears. I can't wait to offend somebody else. I'm thinking right now, who's next? Who's next? We got to sing for Page High. Thank you, Page High. Crocodile tears. He got me. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I had a crocodile tears, baby. I'm so sorry. My apologies. I made a mistake. I destroyed temporarily my image with Page High. Dr. Page High. Page High, thank you. I all kidding aside, that was you got me, dude. You got me. Oh my God. So we're gonna sing. And you know what? I'm gonna just throw in a little banging of the pot, a little pot banging, just Libre. Please don't unexpected super chat. Thank you, and I'm gonna get that pot right now. I already have the spatula somewhere. I don't even know. I can't see. I lost my glasses. I lose my glasses a lot. Hold on. I know it's around here somewhere, but if I don't have it, I know where it is. Oh, it's over here. I keep the spatula handy because I use it for a back scratcher too. But we're going to go for the gusto with Page High super chat. No, Scott, no super chat. No, I demand that there be no super chat. I demand it. You must follow my... No, we had an agreement. No more super chat from Scott Del Fuego, Polly Hogan. So, look at this. This is Page High after I realized that I did lose my mind for a little while and I got upset. But Page High comes back with an after I got upset with one of my longest and best, always nice commenting subscribers, Page High, and I was wrong, but I was right, and he was right, and he was wrong, but he has no way to argue. That's the problem with my live streams. I wish I could have people on it. This computer will not tolerate having third parties or second parties on. It just doesn't have what it takes to get that program to work. I tried it. So I made a mistake by being upset with Page High because I don't know when he came in, when he started listening to the conversation. It was my mistake, and I apologize. And Page High got on my case before he saw my apology, and then I got on his case for getting on my case because he didn't see my apology. And then I apologized, and then he apologized, and he still wants me to be president 2020. And Page High, sent me a $19.90 super chat. Super chat. And what did I do? Tell me I did not apologize properly. Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get cold water. I'm going to do crocodile tears with cold water. And I got to tell you, with the aircon on and the cold water and the crocodile tears, that truly shows how apologetic I am for making a terrible blunder. Absolutely egregious blunder against my subscriber Page High, who then turns around and demeans me to the point where I realized I made a mistake, and then he turns around and then sends me money. He sent me money. Oh, I should disregard my entire thought process for a week and only pray to the Page High God of you. Thank you. But I gotta go get crocodile tears. Show you. I'm gonna put cold water on cold water crocodile tears. Cold water crocodile tears, baby. Cold water. Opening the refrigerator. Closing the refrigerator, putting this is cold water, baby. This is ice water. It's as cold as it gets. It's down around 44 degrees. You can see the smoke on the bottle. All right. This is how much I love Page High. I love Page High. I made a mistake. I criticized somebody improperly. I did that. Nobody else made me get upset. But for that, I'm going to suffer. I'm going to do cold water crocodile tears because that's the kind of guy I am. This is cold water, baby. Look, see the smoke on there? See the condensation? Look. Watch. See, I'll show you. See the condensation? It's cold water. This is for the great, the undisputed super chat champion of 2019, December 28th, 2019, the great Page High, Dr. Page High. Crocodile tears, baby, but we're going to go one step further. Everybody knows that crocodile tears are part of my vertical lip t-shirt, right? Everybody knows that. Watch this. This is crocodile tears from on high. We're going to take off the hat, and we're going to make the crocodile tears come from heaven. So here we go. Ah, 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 oh, 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 heavenly made crocodile tears. Oh my God. And this is star anise flavored crocodile tears from heaven, baby. These tears didn't come from my heart or my soul. God made the tears from on down. Page High, I apologize. Look, watch this. From heaven, heavenly made. They come on from God is punishing me. Oh, these are the real crocodile tears. These are cold. These are cold. These are cold. Oh. Who's next? Let me at him. Who should I insult next? All right, so we have to sing. Thank you very much, Page High. Salamat. And all kidding aside, it was my mistake. And I know I went off on one of those tangents. I know that. And it happens. And I could blame it on too much coffee. Coffee this morning. But I apologize, Page High. I really do. And thank you very much for the super chat. Now, excuse me. Now we're gonna. This is a Libre. I demand that no one sends me super chat. Okay, because I would like that nobody sends me super chat between now and New Year's. Actually, I mean, if on New Year's someone wanted to, that would be okay. But I'm not doing these shows. I've made enough money to pay my bills for several months in advance. So I'm not looking for super chat. Okay, I'm looking to put on a show and to give people information, and I'm going to do a show on how much money I earned. And when I went over the numbers, it was so much money that I earned this year on YouTube and gifts that I feel that if no one super chats me for till the end of the year for sure, but I mean even the end of January or February, that would be okay. That's how much money I earn on YouTube. And I'm being serious. If I add up the gifts, both personal that I haven't mentioned, the trip that Carl Vella took me on, which was several $1,000s in the Florida Keys, the computer from Warren, another $2,500, $500 cash from Warren. That's $3,000. We're talking about $6,000 for just those two things. And then when I looked at my numbers on Patreon and YouTube, I really did okay. So I am not here for the super chat. And Scott Del Fuego, please don't super chat me, because this is what I'm asking you to not do. I really don't need the money. If I did, I would specifically make intentional requests for money personally between people that would have nothing to do with YouTube, and I could probably acquire more money than I need to live for another year in a matter of a few days. I do not want people to super chat me. I don't need the money. In fact, I have 3,000 pesos that's going to Daisy probably tomorrow morning when I go to the city. That was made from last week and the week before. And I also have several thousand pesos if Daisy asks me for the money that she refused to take before Christmas, but she said she might take it for New Year's. So I need to call her up. So I'm doing okay for money. Thanks. And Scott just moved up on Patreon. There wasn't a lot of place for Scott to go, and he went there. He went up into the top echelon of Patreon. I got to tell you, thank you, Scott. He bumped himself up from mid-range to a very, very high range, and I really don't need the money. I'm doing good right now. Plus, I don't even want to mention that other 100,000 that I don't even want to mention that. That was something I'm probably not even going to mention that. Not even going to mention the other 100,000 that I got from somebody else. So I'm not going to mention that. I refuse, because I don't want anybody else to know my personal business. If there's a narcissist out there, he'll call up the IRS and show them this video clip that someone is sending me 100,000 US, by the way, and but it's a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift. I don't have to pay taxes on it. That guy's already long form in the channel for soliciting money, but I didn't even know it. And he's already he's opened up his Yahoo Mail, sending information already to the IRS. Fazio got 100,000 gift. He's gonna write it off. Delete that. I never said that. Make like I didn't say. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Not gonna happen. I was only kidding. I was only kidding. Nobody's sending me 100,000. Take it back. I take it back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, page high. All right. So I can't see the thing because I got water in my eyes and I got the light on here, which is making a glare on the thing. I see Lisa Gordon is here. I haven't seen that name in a long time. Let me put my glasses on. All right. So page high. Again, I apologize. I definitely lost my cool there for a moment. I do that. And it's part of it was the show, and part of it is my nature. It's just my human nature. Here, as a jet mechanic, I was told you're a doctor, page high. So, and I believe you're a doctor. I believe that. So I'll bounce this back at you why I got upset. And I'm being serious now. Okay, so you're a doctor and you explain, now you're a doctor now. Okay, so I'm trying to make other people understand. The doctor's time, there's no way you're going to tell me a doctor's time is worth less than $500 an hour. There's no way a doctor's time is worth less than that. So he doesn't want to explain anything to you twice. And also your life might depend on the doctor's advice or demands. But me, as a dock builder and a crane operator and a heavy equipment operator, if I have to explain something to you and you don't understand, I might swing a 60-foot pole around, and I may have said, don't stand over there. And you may stand over there, and I don't know you're over there because I can't see behind me, and the pole might hit you and kill you. So I am not used to telling people things twice. And as the owner-operator of a big construction company, I don't have the time to explain things to people twice. So that's one reason I got upset. The second reason I got upset is because I've explained this foot injury thing to me is a major psychological problem inside my head, that my foot was screwed up. It's now 18 months and it's not fully healed. I still have 4 holes on my shin from the spatter, but my foot is healed now. But for 40,000 pesos, 5 doctors, 3 hospitals, and several testings, nobody knew what the problem was. I'm upset in my head. So between the frustration in my head and the frustration of wasting 40,000 pesos and 1 year of my life I couldn't go swimming, and then nobody knew what it was, and then I figured it out on my own. This is frustrating to me. So between that, repeating myself, the internal frustration, I was pissed off, but I shouldn't have been pissed off at page high. But I was, and I apologize. Thank you. And now I'll go back to the comments. Okay, we have a lot of comments, I see. All right, page high, you pushed the happy button. I saw that. All right, so we're up there. So you got me, page high. You got me. Page high, buy more salt. Thank you. Hello, page high, $19.99. Salamat. Thank you from Daisy and I. Michael McFarland, I hope you are well this evening from Scott Del Fuego. And Mr. Willis, yes. Yaakov Abdul Muhammad, China-made dumping grounds for the Philippines. I think you said to call you Peter yesterday. Yaakov Abdullah Muhammad. Was that the name that you said yesterday? I apologize. I forgot the name. If I'm incorrect, please correct me. Slim Jim, that is what we call Filipino cheap. 2 steps below pure junk. Okay, yep. Okay, page high, please donate to Mr. Fazio's fund tonight. I'm running out of, I have 4 more bottles of cold water, but then I'm going to be out. Look, see the sweat? I'll show you. See the sweat on the bottom of the bottle? Just to let you know, I wasn't lying. It is cold water. It was pretty cold, too. I don't lie. Well, everybody knows I don't lie anyway. Scott Del Fuego buys from Harbor Freight. Okay, thank you very much. Paige High says, everybody donate to Mr. Fazio. Thank you. That's not necessary. And really, I'm doing okay. I am a very happy camper. Thank you very much. Paige High, can we get him 105,000 peso super chats? Could you imagine how I would take the ice out of the freezer and make ice tears? I'd drop ice on my head. I would just put the ice in a glass with some water and just crush it up. I'd smash my face with cold crocodile ice cube type tears. Slim Jim says, Paige High pushed the happy button. Salamat. Always entertaining, Paige High says. Thank you very much, Paige High. Yeah, I try, and I don't even, half the stuff I have to do, I don't know that I'm going to do it before I do it. I had no idea that you and I would be talking right now after I went off on that tangent, to be honest. Yes, it is a buffet at the Hennon. Actually, I'm going to call up and that's the fella that him and I are doing something together on another property. I had to do some things with him, and I was basically an advisor. And I'm going to call him up and see if he wants to go out. Let me take Mai's number down right now before I forget, because he said he was going to be back. Yeah, if Mai wants to go out, we will do the Hennon New Year's buffet probably, because he's single and I'm single and loving it. So that's right. It is, and if I can get Mai to go out with me, because I don't actually have a date for New Year's. I don't want one. Meeting women around the holidays is just not a good thing to do, for me anyway. But anyway, thanks. So yeah, I guess I could use that to go to the Hennon. If Mai wants to go out, we'll probably go. We'll make the day of it. We'll go do something maybe on a boat first, and then the Hennon. Or actually, I have a number here. Oh God, Aita, AITA. Now you're going to see a video of this girl, Aita. And she is a dive master. She's French. I met her, Ida, and I met her boyfriend, Steve. And then I met I think her girlfriend's name was Heather, and then there was a Bruce. There were 4 people. I met them at the Giuseppe's Pizzeria. This girl, she is one of those women that you look at, you go, how could anybody be so beautiful? And I'm not kidding you. She's beautiful. Now, she's also very much in love with Bruce, but that's not the point. The point is, I'm gonna end up, I might go diving if she answers her phone. They had a dive shop that I'm gonna do. They asked me to do videos on YouTube for their dive shop. And I said yes. And they said that the dive shop would be opened up right around Christmas time. So I've called her once since before Christmas, and she didn't answer her phone. So it's a local dive shop. It's in Alona Beach. And I'm going to check it out. So you're probably going to see, I might even go diving New Year's. I like to be under the water on Christmas, but it didn't work out like that for me this year. I had something else that needed to be addressed. So I'm gonna, but I am gonna go out on the boat that Ida and Heather, one of those 2 boats, or maybe they'll both be on the boat. Heather and they are from France, all of them, and they are like 4 perfect, like, examples of what human beings should look like in their youth. All 4 are in perfect top physical condition, and the two men are very handsome, and the two women are exceptionally beautiful. And they're all French, and they're opening up a dye business. So Ida, Steve, Mark, and I think the girl's name was Heather. But I would have remembered that name Ida anyway, because nobody would ever forget Ida. It is not part. When you see the video I do of Ida, you'll understand why no one would ever forget her name. In fact, I normally don't ask women out when I first meet them. I don't, till I get to know her. But I said to her, "Look, I don't know you. I didn't know that Mark was her boyfriend." I says, she asked me for something, and I said, "Yeah, I have that." And I walked over, and I said, "Look," I looked at her. I looked at her. I looked at her good too. I did one of these. I did it intentionally. I did it. I looked, and I'm going, "Do you have any imperfections that I should know about before I ask you to marry me?" And she says, "Excuse me?" I said, "Do you have any imperfections? I mean, like, are your toes webbed or something like that?" And I was being serious, because I met a girl with webbed feet once that was really beautiful and had beautiful breasts and a beautiful figure-8 body, but she had webbed feet. Her toes were webbed together, and she didn't even swim. So I looked, but I says, "Do you have any imperfections I should know about? I mean, that before I ask you to marry me, I want." And she started laughing, because I'm 64. She was like 30. She's probably 28 or 30. And she started laughing. She goes, I'm with Bruce, because we had all introduced each other through a window in Giuseppe's. There was a window that we were bantering back and forth. I didn't know she was with Bruce. I knew that there were two girls and two guys, but what does that have to do with me and you? Could be your brother, could be one of your cousins, could be just a friend. One can only hope. So anyway, Ida is somebody that you're going to see videos about, because I'm going to use their dive shop when I go diving. But wait. So I don't know. I might even go diving New Year's. I'll call them up. I have it on my computer to do that. So I might put that towards diving page either way. Page High, thank you very much. So yeah, I'll probably end up going to. I could call up right now. Hold on a second. I could just call up right now. Let's find out if Ida is around. Yeah. Okay, hold on. You don't dial these numbers. Oh, I can't see. Is that a 1 or a 7? No. 0. Well, we'll try the. I can't see. It's ringing. It's ringing. Hold on. I don't know if she'll answer. I don't know if I even have I know where the dive shop is. So let's get on with the Page High. I didn't. Okay, so Slim Jim, not fair to bang a pot. All right, so Page High, I'm welcome. You push the happy button from Slim Jim. Welcome. You're always welcome. You're always entertaining, Michael, from Page High. She's not going to answer. Slim Jim, Page High. Page High, yes, LOL. Not fair to bang a pot and expect me not to super chat. Scott, I should tell these people how generous you have been to myself and Daisy May, and then they will understand why I asked you not to super chat. So I'm getting through, but really, Scott, you go above and beyond every time. Thank you. But I'm doing okay, really. And I'm doing okay thanks to you, partially to you. And people exactly like you. Thank you, Scott. Page High. It's a buffet at the Hennon, and yes, it is. Probably that's where I'll end up going, because I've called Ida now twice in the daytime. She's probably diving, and I could go diving on New Year's. I don't think I will. I do want to meet up with he was in Manila for about 2 months, and him and I have business to discuss. So it'll probably be over dinner. But thank you again. So, Scott, are those cold and star anise flavored crocodile tears? Yes, they were. Star anise flavored. And they are cold. Salamat, some Page High. Scott says those tears are colder than Bill Clinton's wife. She is one cold-hearted woman. The stuff that they have accused her of, if any of it is true, it's amazing that the people haven't revolted and in a big way. If some of the things that were said about Mrs. Clinton are true, it's amazing that I mean, God, I've seen things said about people, but not anything like what's the dark web stuff that was said about her and that other lady. Some amazing stuff. Page High, Salamat, Lisa Gordon, funny. Page High, this is what makes Fazio such an entertainer. Page High agrees. Most people don't have the sway he does. It's amazing, says Page High. Thank you. Carl Vella is a good man to support a friend and is the mark of a solid person. So what Scott is talking about and what Carl doesn't like me talking about, but I don't talk about it much, but Carl Vella took me on a vacation that cost several $1,000s to the Florida Keys when I was in New York. And then he joined my Patreon account at the highest possible level. And he's an amazing man, Carl, very successful man in life. And I had to ask him to stop. That's what I had to ask him to do, and he did, but only because I asked him. Please, that's enough. Okay, I'm okay. Till I get my house sold in New York, I'm pretty much good for the next couple of months. And then that house is going up for sale soon. They're working on it. Well, they should start to work on it next week to take the illegal kitchen sink and bathroom tub out. So I hope to have that house sold by the end of April. Be careful. The narcissists and sociopaths are listening. They might have their flying monkeys recording this and clicking. Hey, here's the truth now. First of all, if someone really was going to give me $100,000, and it was a gift, it's not taxable, number one, especially if it's in the Philippines. So number one, it's not taxable. Number two, you'd never be able to see it if I didn't want you to see it on the books, depending on whether or not it happens. Number three, if it was taxable, that would be okay. But number four, the narcissist / sociopath / psychopath / flying monkey that reported me to the IRS, or at least that's what I heard, reported me to the IRS for monies I earned on YouTube and or Patreon and gifts from Warren H., the $500 gift on, pledge on YouTube. Well, first of all, I paid my taxes on that product already. YouTube is going to send me a 1099 in 72 hours for my yearly earnings. And then I'm going to make a video on what I earned. So my taxes on that product have already been taken out from YouTube. And then if I owe money on that, that will go into my TurboTax form. I buy TurboTax for $136. I already looked at the form. It's $139 this year. And then I'll put that in as a 1099 along with the Patreon 1099, and I'll pay taxes if it turns out that I owe money on taxes. However, I have a capital improvements that I did while I was in New York. So I don't probably have to pay taxes until I earn $30,000. And I didn't earn $30,000, so I don't care. Now, if the gift came in and if I was worried about it, there's nothing to worry about. But there was a guy that said he reported me. Now get this. This is no joke. The guy, the YouTuber, wait, there are children outside Christmas caroling. Hold on a second. All right, so there's people outside Christmas caroling. Hold on. I have, you, you come here next. Okay, you come, when you're finished over there, you come here. Okay, here, when you're ready. All right, look, I'm going to make a video of these guys Christmas caroling. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I like to give them some, I got pesos for them, and oh, I got to get a battery in here. All right, so this will be, I'll mention some of, here goes some of your super chat. Not much, Paige. I only give them 50 pesos. So I'll be back in 5 minutes. Wait a minute. Humana. Okay. Hold on. Hold it. Wait. I'm going to make a video, baby. I'm going to put you on YouTube, baby. All right. All right, so. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Christmas carols that are late. PayPal just sent me a magnificent donation on YouTube. So let's go. I'm going to tell you what. and I'm going to go back up. Okay, we have 3 very happy men outside, and I just did record that, so I apologize. So now I'm recording the recording of, I gave them only 20 pesos, because I only had 20s and 500s, but I gave them 10 pieces of candy each. So that's really like, so for the 3 men, the song lasted 45 seconds. So they made 20 pesos for a minute. So 60 minutes, that would be like 1,200. That they were very happy. That's typically what you give the people in the Philippines when they do 2 or 3 people, 20 pesos, 5 people, I give 100 pesos, 5 to 8 people. But I give them many pieces of candy because they love candy. Thanks very much, Paige High. You made this all possible. This Christmas carol was brought to you by Paige High. Right there. Paige High. Salamat. Okay. So we are back. These guys will go right by my house because they know they don't stop by everybody's house. They know they all know who I am. That's not a problem. But I guess they figure because I'm single now, they don't stop by. I don't know why. So I have to scream down the block to get them to come here. Be careful, narcissists and sociopaths are listening. Yeah, I don't care about that. Daisy May had a highly painful and open infection where she burned herself the same welding rod. Okay, so I have that, but YouTube's new algorithm, plus, I'm going to tell you. All right, this is what a person, probably a narcissist, definitely a sociopath, and without a doubt a psychopath, and or his flying monkeys or her flying monkeys are doing. Every live stream, they flag every live stream. When this is over, it will show that it's demonetized, even though I didn't do anything wrong. But they still flag it. Then I push the button that says this video is okay for monetization, and the money goes back on. Then, if there is something wrong, then YouTube will come back and demonetize the video again. So I'll say, please manually review this video. And sometimes the money comes back on, the AdSense comes back on within seconds, and sometimes it takes 2 or 3 hours. But my last 15 live streams, every one of them have been flagged. If they were 5-minute prelude to a live stream, if it was a live stream, if it was a 5-hour live stream, every one was flagged. Every one is still monetized. And some of them are earning pretty good money. So somebody out there doesn't like me. And that person may be a narcissist and or a sociopath and a psychopath and or a flying monkey, but he definitely or she definitely uses flying monkeys to come to my channel and flag my videos. All right, so that being said, let me get back to my notes. We spread the candy. Look, I got... Oh. I keep the money in the candy. There's a 50 in there. I didn't see that. I just grabbed a handful. Must have been on the bottom. Okay, so we keep the money in with the candy. Now I got a 50. Anyway, 20 pesos for a minute's work. They should have worked a little bit harder. I probably would have gave them, I have change somewhere. Anyway, so the narcissist, there was something else that they did. I forgot what it was. Anyway, they did something else. What was it? They do a lot of stuff to my channel. Anyway, I don't remember what it was. I try not to think. See if we still have, yeah, we're still working here. All right, so I'm going to get back to I'll remember what, oh, I know what the narcissist, okay, I remember. All right, so I was on YouTube a few days ago, after Christmas night, after Christmas Day. I'm listening to an upload or a live stream. I don't know what it was. And I hear somebody, I mean griping, big time, crying that some Filipinos were outside their house Christmas caroling the night after Christmas. Several, while you could hear, now I could tell you they were Christmas caroling at that person's house because there isn't anything else around that house except the house. So, people out there Christmas caroling, don't they know Christmas is over? Really? For 1 week, my major enjoyment is to go give these people candy and 20 or 50 or 100 pesos, okay? That's all they're going to get is 100 pesos. That's the maximum. But that's if there's 5 or 8 people. It takes them a few minutes to perform their show. And I'm going to tell you that the people next door are Filipino, and those people will perform the show for the Filipino neighbors, and the neighbors will give them 5 pesos for 8 people. And they have more money than I do. They have incomes, they have a store, not next door, but a few doors down. But that's what they gave them, 5 pesos for doing Christmas carol. I give them 100 pesos. I have another neighbor next door that just closes the doors and pulls the curtains closed when they see the Christmas carols. They don't give them anything. But that's Filipinos to Filipinos. I have a foreigner. They don't even come to the door. They don't even move the curtains. People will stand there. People don't Christmas carol at his house anymore. They know that he's not giving anything. And he's rich. He's really, by every definition of the word, rich, gives them nothing. But I like to interact with the people. But the narcissist, in my opinion, / sociopath / flying monkey / psychopath was complaining 3 times in less than 6 or 7 minutes, somewhere during the upload or live stream show, that there were people outside Christmas caroling. Don't they know that it's not Christmas anymore? And then he dropped it, or she dropped it. And then, do they not understand that Christmas is over? What is wrong with these people? And then they dropped it, or he dropped it, or she dropped it. And then again, why don't these people stop Christmas caroling? What is wrong with these people? I'm going to myself, dude, man, why would you say that on live stream or show or upload, whatever it is? Why would you say that? What is wrong with you? And I wanted to say what is wrong, but I wouldn't say it because I wouldn't give that narcissist / psychopath / flying monkey / fraud, in my opinion, I wouldn't give them the time of day. But if you go back and look at the show, or live stream or upload, you'll see a full-grown person and or his flying monkey or her flying monkey complaining in tandem that Filipinos were trying to earn 15 or 20 pesos for Christmas caroling the day after Christmas. Now that is a person that has deep-rooted psychological problems. What foreigner in the Philippines, what rational person, what doctor, what doctor of psychology, what doctor of pathology, doctor of medicine, doctor of whatever, who would go so far as to complain about people Christmas caroling where you only have to go out and give them 10 pesos? Who would do that? You don't have to give them 10 pesos. You could have just let them sing and not said a word, and no one would be the wiser. But you had to complain. You had to make somebody wrong, because that's what sociopaths, narcissists, psychopaths, and flying monkeys do. They find fault with anything. How can you find fault with poor Filipinos walking around at 7 or 8 o'clock at night trying to earn 10 pesos for 2 or 3 or 4 people? How can you find fault with a person, man or woman or child, that's willing to work for 2 or 3 minutes for 2 pesos? How can you find fault with this? If you gave those people 5 pesos, they would say thank you, and then they would sing thank you. Then you could have made an upload of thank you. But you didn't do that. You complained about children making 2 pesos. Maybe that's why nobody likes you. I don't know. Oh, we have comments. Anthony Barrett. I know more about astrology, Saturnalia, Christmas, religious fraud, Vatican religion than most people that have ever lived, okay? It doesn't matter whether it's Saturnalia. It doesn't matter whether it's Satan Claus. It doesn't matter whether it's Santa Claus. It doesn't matter whether it's Kris Kringle. Talking about poor Filipino children and or adults that can't buy foods, willing to work for 2 or 3 pesos for 2 or 3 of their minutes, and somebody denying them the right to go out and try to earn that money. Nobody demanded that he gives money to them or she gives money to them. Nobody said you have to go out and give money to those people. The fact that the point I'm trying to make is that only a narcissist, in my opinion, only a narcissist, a psychopath, a sociopath, and or a flying monkey, in my opinion, would deny somebody the right to earn 2 or 3 pesos. A poor person to earn 2 or 3 pesos. That's the point I'm making. It has nothing to do with the holidays. The highlight of my day, I'm going to show you something, okay? I'm going to show you guys a video I have of an upload that I did, that I requested these 2 men come to my house in the middle of the night. It was 9 o'clock at night. I heard them singing in the street. And I made a video of them singing. They weren't even singing to anybody. They were singing because they were drunk. They were drunk and they were singing. And I said, you guys come over here and sing for me. I'll make a video and I'll give you some pesos. Well, I did. I gave them 20 pesos and I gave them a shitload of candy. I don't know how much candy I gave them, a lot. Okay, so here's the video. Now, it has the face of 2 women, because in the video, there's nothing but darkness and two guys singing. And at the end of the video, you're going to hear me ask them if they're drinking soda or beer. Okay, so I dragged these two guys off the street to make a video when they were just singing to themselves walking down the street, because I wanted to give them something, and they were much appreciative also. So let's go to the video, and I'm going to put this camera on here, and you're going to look at darkness. You're not going to look at the girl's face. All right, let's slide this over. You're not going to see a face, or you're not going to see anything. You're just going to see darkness, and then you're going to listen to the words I said to them. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some nighttime Christmas carolers. And what is your name?
Fidel.
Peter?
Fidel.
Padal. Okay. And your name? And your name?
Rusty.
What?
Rusty.
Wasi?
Yeah.
All right. So what are you going to sing?
Yeah, we're gonna sing.
Okay, baby.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy night, the stars as brightly shining. This is the night when the cities burn. Lonely world, it seems an finding. We are real when it steals all the sin. For your love, will everyone be voices for your mercies. When every again is born. On your need, you hear your angel voices, oh, divine, oh, your light, when Christ was born, oh, night, divine, all night, all night you'll find.
Wow, you guys sound like Frank Sinatra. Like a Frank Sinatra.
You know?
Very nice.
Yeah.
I have in here 22 pieces of candy.
It's okay.
And this is 20 pesos.
It's okay, no problem.
Okay? It's okay?
Thank you. I will thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Okay. You guys are gonna come back next week?
Yeah, maybe
next week. New Year's.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
What are you drinking? Soda?
No.
No soda.
Beer.
Macahilo soda, yeah?
Only
Beer.
beer.
Healthy beer.
Beer.
Okay. Salamat. Amping.
Obrigado.
May isa pa yan. I'll see you next week. Thank you. Okay, so that's how I treat Christmas carolers. I don't care how anybody else treats them, but these people are willing to work for $50. Those guys couldn't sing. I could bang my shoes together and sound better than them guys. But you know what? I enjoy that. I actually, physically, literally listening to Christmas carols, because I remember as a child, the people would come to my house and my mother would open the door and we would all stand at the door if it was cold, or go outside on the stoop, and we would all watch them Christmas carol, and my father would take some money out of his pocket, and my father would give them money. And he, not coins, dollars. My father had a good job, and he might give them $2 or $3, which was a lot of money when talking about 1965, 66, when the minimum wage was, $60 a week you could make. My father would give them $1 or $2, and it depended on how many people were there. But it brings back good memories for me. So I enjoy listening to the Christmas carols. Now, I invited, I didn't say you guys got to come. I want them to come back. I want to make another video. Next time I'm going to take this flashlight out. I didn't think about it because I was out doing something, and I heard them sing, and I ran in and got the camera. I didn't think about the flashlight. These guys were freaking drunk. These guys were hammered. When I could see their faces a little bit, but these guys were inebriated. They were like, rah, 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 like that. And I'm going, I don't really want to put them on in the light of day. But I enjoy the hell out of that. And not only that, they know that if they need help, I always help them out. So, they know who I am, and I know who they are. But they appreciate that kind of stuff. That's kind of stuff. You would be surprised how many people, how everybody knows everything about everybody else. Nobody bothers me here. Never had a problem since I've been here. Had neither Daisy nor I have ever, just that one, the fact that woman watched my water overflow, that was, but she wasn't from here. She had just come here from the end of Bohol. All four of them came here from the other end of the island. So none of them knew me, probably only a few months, and we didn't talk because they don't speak English. That's why we didn't talk. But they don't know a damn thing about me. But the people that know me, they didn't. Those I went after them too. They didn't tell me about the water either. But one guy did say there was water in the street. So, but as far as people knowing me, everybody knows who I am, and nobody bothers me because even though I'm a little bit cheap with the neighbors with not lending them tools, they still like me. Unlike somebody else come on. I don't want to hop on it. I'll probably only mention it 200 or 300 times between now and next year that this, in my opinion, sociopath / narcissist / psychopath / and flying monkey and or his or her flying monkey / sociopath / psychopath / narcissist, that these people complained that people were Christmas caroling the day after Christmas. Give it that's what they do. They do this. What they do, they complain about everything. Those people weren't hurting them. They could have just shut up and listened to the Christmas carol and enjoyed it from their house. But they couldn't. They had to bitch and gripe and moan that people were Christmas caroling. It's what narcissists / psychopaths / sociopaths / flying monkeys, that's what they do, in my opinion. That's right, baby. Back to I'm right now. I'm listening. Steve Montelli is live. It ain't over yet. I gotta watch that. Let's go back to. Oh, we see lots of comments. Hey, Kevin Kevin Crumpwell, welcome to the machine. Preach it, baby. I was preaching there for a while. Yep, John Boonbeam makes a good point. This guy is rich, too. There's a guy on my block that is rich. I'm talking he was rich before he got here, and he's a lot richer now due to what an investment. But Anthony Barrett, I know you do, mate, but yes, give poor people money. Give them as much as you can. No, just give them something. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. That's right, baby. Scott knows who I'm talking. Most of you people know that we are referencing cheap people on YouTube. 10 pesos. LOL. 200 or more like it. I don't know what you're trying to say, Anthony. 10 pesos, LOL. 200 or more, like it. No. I don't have to give two drunk guys 200 pesos. You, Anthony, you give them 200 pesos. If that's what you're trying to say, you do it. Because I'm going to go to your channel right now, and I'm going to go see if you live in the Philippines. Let's go to Anthony Barrett's channel. Let's go there and see what his generous donations have done for people. All right. So we have home. We don't see anything in Anthony Barrett's description box. No recent activity. Let's see what kind of videos he has. No videos. Let's see about playlists. Nothing worthwhile. Let's see about channels. Let's see. Now let's see if Anthony Barrett has me listed as a channel. No. So far, I don't see me. No, not yet. Still don't see. Oh, there we are, hoodwinked by an angel. All right. Well, at least he has me as a channel. But I don't see any videos. When we click videos, I don't see any videos of Anthony Barrett giving 200 pesos. Now, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe Anthony Barrett said 200 people should come. Anthony, I'm breaking your chops big time. But if you think it's worth 200, I'll tell you what. You, right now, you, Anthony Barrett, all right. So, Anthony, I don't know what you're trying to say, Anthony. I'm not real sure. I used to go singing Christmas carols, 7 penny for the Guy Fawkes. I don't know what your is. You're not being clear. Should I have given them 200 pesos or I'm not critiquing you. I'm putting you on the spot, but I don't. Here, okay, so let's forget about any kind of criticism for Anthony Barrett. Let me tell you that if you are living here in the Philippines, that the people next door or a few doors down that have a store, I know what they gave the Christmas caroler because I was buying something in their store when the children came by to do the Christmas carols. They were somewhere in the age of probably from about 8 years old to about 14 years old. And I have that video, but I will not play it. I'm not going to put underage children on the channel, but it will. In fact, my friends got one of those videos for Christmas. It was a Merry Christmas video, only sent out privately. So the woman there's a key player. It was a young man, and he took the 5 pesos. And then they sang thank you. So for 5 pesos, they sang whatever they sang for me, they sang for the woman. I don't remember what they sang for me. I have no idea. Feliz Navidad. Oh, that was another thing. That a narcissist, a sociopath, a psychopath, and a flying monkey complain that the new version of Feliz Navidad, they go da 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 da. I don't know the words to Feliz Navidad, and I don't care. I don't listen to the Christmas carolers to listen to the words of the song. I listen to the Christmas carolers for the enjoyment of listening to Christmas caroling. Just like people don't come here to watch me sing or do anything special, they come here just to watch. And I don't listen to the words in the song. And not only that, I can tell you that Wish You Were Here as a Pink Floyd song is the #1 favorite song in my whole life. And I don't know the words to the song because I don't remember stuff like that. But I listen for the enjoyment of the song. So digressing, the woman gave them 5 pesos and then they sang thank you. Then I said, you guys come to my house when you're done because there were 2 or 3 more houses. There were 2 two, no, the camera, I guess the camera was recording. There were 2 or 3 more houses that in between the store and my house. So, pull the battery out of this. Sometimes it goes on automatically. That's one. Yeah, now, like I just said, sometimes it goes on automatically, and it went on. So, when they got to my house, they sang, and those children I gave 100 pesos to, because there were 8. I think there were 8. I think the people that received my Christmas mail. That was the group. There were several groups got 100 pesos, but so to just to address Anthony Barrett's, if it's a question or a statement, 5 pesos, they sing 2 songs and then a thank you, and they're very happy. They're very gracious, 5 pesos. And then I happen to know for a fact that very 2 doors later, if they got 5 pesos, they were lucky. They might have only got 2 or 3 pesos. So me giving them 100 for those 8 people is way over. And 20 pesos for those 2 men, they would probably get 5 pesos from most people, if anything at all. So 20 pesos and 20 pieces of candy, that's another 20 pesos. So basically I gave them 20 pesos each. And if they were working, they'd be lucky to make 20 pesos in 20. You get 40 pesos an hour, 50 if you're lucky in construction here. So they'd be lucky to work a half an hour to get 20 pesos each. They'd have to work a half an hour. That's reasonable what I get. If anybody thinks that it was unreasonable, well, heck, I'll just go find those 2 guys and I'll throw some more money at them. But I think it's reasonable. So I don't know, Anthony Barrett. It's a joke. I would have gave them 100 for that performance. You're a very generous man, Anthony Barrett. You'd probably come here on vacation, burn up a credit card, and then go home and pay off the credit card for the rest of the year. But I live here. Okay. Oh, you mean no? I don't know. I'm done with dealing with Anthony Barrett. Is a big man on the screen here, but he can't prove a word of it. He doesn't have any videos of him throwing 100 peso bills at people. He doesn't have any videos at all on his channel. I'm looking, Anthony. I'm looking. I'm trying over here. I'm crying. I'm dying over here. And I'm going to go back to Anthony Barrett's channel, and we're going to go right there, right now. We're going to see what a generous guy is throwing money at all these people. And it's a joke. I would have gave him 100. No, you would not have. You have nothing on your channel. I don't know what you're talking. You have something about, it looks like Fukushima. Okay, it's a good topic. But you got nothing on your channel that proves a word of how generous you are to anybody. No playlists, no videos. Coins, Google. Fukushima. You have nothing on your channel that shows that you're a generous human being. I'm not putting you down, but you can't prove it to me. So I think that you're all smoke and mirrors there, Anthony. That's what my personal opinion is, that you're all smoke and mirrors. Anybody else think that 20 pesos wasn't enough and 20 pieces of candy? Please feel free to let me know. Right now, let me know. Let me know. All right, so we're going to close that video down. Anthony Barrett, we don't need your channel open anymore. And we're back to my live stream. Okay. All right. And he can, his cap locks don't bother me, because a lot of times thank you, Michael McFarland. He's okay, the cap locks. Thank you. Most people take offense to that, but I don't. I don't. As long as I can read, as long as I can get an understanding of the words, that's okay. Thank you, Michael. Drunk as a Palawan stink badger. They They were hammered. They were hammered. Bad eyes, Anthony Barrett. Kevin Cromwell. In 2020, minimum wage will go to $15 an hour in New York. Yeah, but it costs you $1,000 a month for a little room in New York. Here, $20 will get you a house that you could put 12 people in. So, Michael McFarland says, I've been in the Phils since 2012. The Monkey Master survived the storm. I don't know. I haven't. I have eliminated viewing narcissists and or sociopaths channels. In my opinion, those people, I think you're talking about a narcissist slash psychopath slash sociopath slash flying monkey. I have not viewed anything since the day after Christmas. So that was the 26th, and today's the 28th. So it's been 12, would be the 27th. It's been 36 hours since I've even turned on a narcissist or sociopath's channel. All right. It's a joke. They were terrible singers. Yeah, they were terrible singers. I could bang my shoes together and sing better than those guys. But I like to listen to people Christmas carol. I don't care. They know they're a lot better singers than I am. If I was to get up on stage, or if I was part of a Christmas caroling, people, you rest assured, people would throw money at me to stop singing. I like that. I don't care that people can. I can't sing. I don't like when I see somebody build a deck and they put the crown down instead of the crown up on the lumber. But singing, I like that. Anybody that does any kind of creative thing with singing or dancing, I always give them a thumbs up or a pat on the back or attaboy, because at least they had the guts to do it. That didn't matter that they were buying beer with it. They were working for their beer money. John Boone Bean, I got Dark Side of the Moon, The Wall, Echoes, the best of Pink Floyd, probably some other albums too. Just yesterday, listening to some songs. They're the best, Pink Floyd. I listen to Pink Floyd all day. Well, Anthony, I'll tell you why. I'm not taking it so seriously. If I was taking it seriously, I would have blocked you. But I mean, I don't know how the contents of your sentence structure means. I have no idea what it means. I have no idea what you're saying or why. You might be calling me a cheap such and such. I'm not cheap. I already gave out, and I'm not being facetious, 3,100 pesos of sauces and spaghetti, but I still have 12 bags of sauce and 3 kilos of spaghetti left. So I haven't given all of that out, but I did divulge $64 I bought just for gifts for Christmas. Okay. And then I gave out $5 in cash for 2 bottles of rum. So say $70 in Pasaluban, free stuff that's going to get given. Oh, and the candy. That's with the candy, 3,200 pesos. So let's just say I bought $70 worth of stuff. Well, that's a lot more than anybody else on my block is given. But then there might be somebody that thinks I'm cheap because I didn't give out a Christmas gift to every child on the block this year. I got asked why I didn't give out, why no toys this year? And I told them no money this year. But Kevin, if you want to make a joke, then make it clear that you're making a joke. I would suggest that, okay? Because people come on here and they say all kinds of boisterous things. They voice their opinion. Oh, I would have gave him 200 pesos. Do you realize what 200 pesos is, Anthony? First of all, you probably don't even know what 200 pesos is, but I'll explain it to you. 200 pesos is $4. $4. Those boys were out there. The video that I'll post, their singing lasted 80 seconds, a minute and 20 seconds from the time I turned it on to the time they left. It was 80 seconds, a minute and 20 seconds, unless I read the camera wrong. So that would be $3 a minute for a Filipino when they make $1 an hour. Okay. And then what did they do? They just sat there and they botched up a couple of songs. Why would I give them $4? So that's a ridiculous amount of money that you position. Now, this is all part of the learning experience coming to the Philippines. These people will take all your money, but you don't appear to be some kind of Santa Claus type figure. You're not, Mr. Congeniality when it comes to throwing money around, except if it's my money. So when you make a statement about me saying I should give them $4 for a minute, and that included the introduction and the exit, 1 minute, $4, what does that come out to? That comes out to $250 an hour for two Filipinos. And I gave them 40 pesos. I gave them 80 cents for their minute, which is like $70 an hour. That's how I figured it out. But you come on saying I should give $4. Anybody else have a problem with me giving these guys only 20 pesos and 20 pieces of candy? I mean, does anybody else have a problem, or is it just Anthony? And maybe he doesn't even have a problem. Maybe he's just making a joke, but I don't see the joke to it. I would have appreciated the comment more. He said, wow, that was 20. That was very nice of you to go. I didn't have to go out there and give these guys money. I heard them singing 2 doors away. I had to yell to them to come to my house. I don't know. If I'm wrong, let me know. Stop timing Anthony out. Let him talk. Let him say, Michael, let him talk if he wants to talk. That's right. Scott Delfego said they did a Christmas carol, not a week's labor on the hotel. LOL. No, they would, yeah. Mr. Willis says, no, it's a reasonable amount. At least they got something better than nothing. Yeah. Oh, there are people that will let them sing, I'm sure, for free. And I can't prove this. The first house I lived in Alona Beach was owned by a German guy and his wife. I asked him what the proper amount to give for the Christmas carolers. It was actually the second house I lived in, excuse me. The first house I moved out in September. The second house I lived in during the holidays. And he said 2 or 3 pesos. That's all. He just said 2 or 3 pesos. And he's rich. He's really rich. And he owns, I don't want to tell you what he owns. He owns bars, multiple bars in another country where the women dance. And so he's got tons of cash, and he gives them 2 or 3 pesos. We're talking 3 or 4 people stood out in front of the house, and I was giving him 20 pesos. And I said, how much do you give? He goes, 2 or 3 pesos. That's all they're worth. Okay. All right. That's your opinion. It's Christmas. You give what you can. Mr. Willis says, no, it's a reasonable amount. At least they got something. Thank you, Mr. Willis. So I have more things that I wanted to talk about that are junk here in the Philippines. My power strip. I have a backup battery. These are some of the things that you should bring to the Philippines. You should go to readers.com and bring 20 pairs of glasses for you and your spouse if you're coming here and you're going to live here. I got 4. I got 4.5, 5 pairs of 4s, 5 pairs of 4.5. These are 4.5s. Then I got 5 pairs of 5. No, these are 3 point. These are 4s. These are 4.5. Then I got 5 pairs of 5s, 5 pairs of 5.5s, and 2 pairs of 6s. I figure by that time I'm going to have to go get real glasses. But so I would suggest you bring glasses. I also suggest you bring razor blades because, like I said in the beginning, the razor that I use from March when I went to and I bought Gillette 3 razor blades and the refills. I've been using that since March and it still gives me a baby close shave. But you can buy the best Gillette 3 razor here, even the one the same machine like this. Where is it? Hold on. It's not really a machine, but I don't know where it went. Either way, I don't know where that went, but the same razor blade, the Gillette 3, here it is right here. Okay, so if you buy a Gillette razor blade, not a Gillette 3, this is a Gillette 3. It lasted, now it's from March to now, not 6 months, and then I use it a couple of times a week, and Daisy used it for a few months on her legs. No, she doesn't shave her legs, on her arms, on her underneath her arms. So this lasted 6 months, and the ones that you buy here for 25 pesos each will last 1 or 2 shaves from my face, and you throw it away. You can't shave with it anymore. So I would suggest you bring razor blades. I would suggest that you bring your own pots and pans. I would suggest that you buy whatever glasses that you need. You can forget about getting a good set of prescription glasses here. Forget about it. Okay? First of all, the prescription glasses lenses that I went to an ophthalmologist here were plastic. They don't make glass lenses here. Now this is plastic, but this goes into my pocket with coins and keys and the camera, and it doesn't have any scratches that are noticeable when I look through it. Now this is crazy glue because I did a repair on the glasses last night, and crazy glue went onto the lens, and I scratched it off with a knife. So this is not a scratch, so to speak. It's crazy glue that's still stuck to the lens. Eventually, it'll wear off. But these I paid $9 from readers.com, and you can't buy a pair of readers in the Philippines for less than $24, and they're garbage. The frames are garbage. The lenses are scratched. If you put the glasses I paid 1,200 pesos for, that they wanted 1,200. This is going back 5 years ago. I paid $9 for it. They wanted 12. If you put those in your pocket, the coins will scratch them within a couple of hours, and the frames will break within a couple of weeks. That's what happened to my 900 peso glasses. These have been in my pocket for a year and a half, and I broke the frame a few months back, and then I put the tape on. And last night, I found this glue right here for 15 pesos yesterday and last week, and I bought 2 containers, and then I put I broke a toothpick in half, and I took the tape off, and I cleaned this good with the sponge and soap and water, degreased it basically, and I made a bridge at the top here out of toothpicks, and I'm going to make another bridge tonight over here. So I fixed these, and so So these lasted a year and a half, and these were $10. The ones that you pay $24 for from an ophthalmologist will last you, they won't last you 24 days. I suggest readers. I also suggest that you pack a battery backup power strip if you have one, because they're sealed batteries. You can bring that, you could probably, well, I don't know that you could put that in your luggage anymore. You might want to ship that over in a box from LBC or something like that, because the ones they have here are pure garbage. Now, my computer goes through, it goes to a battery backup that has a lightning strike protector on it. But it's a piece of garbage. But I guess the lightning strike protector works, because I've never had a problem with my computer. But what I will tell you is that when I first got it about a year and a half ago, the battery lasted about a half an hour, just like 27 minutes with this screen and this computer on. Now, when the power goes out, I have 2 minutes and 45 seconds at best to shut everything down. Basically, I just have to shut off Windows and anything else. And if I don't, I save it later. But so it went from 28 or 29 minutes battery backup for this screen, this computer, to about 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Everything they sell there is junk. Now, the reason I mention that is because my battery backup in America, that was, one more thing. I bought the most powerful battery backup they had, and I paid $64 or thereabouts for it. It was 3,000 pesos and change. So I bought the most powerful battery backup they had for $64, and it's only a small battery backup. The one I had in America would let this screen and my computer stay on for an hour, no problem. And it lasted 14 years. I threw it out. And when it was done, it still lasted over 20 minutes. So I still had 30% of the battery energy left after 14 years. And after not even a year and a half for this one, I have 2% or 3% of the energy, about 3%. Everything you buy here is garbage. If you drink distilled water and you like the distilled water yourself, you need to bring your own distilled water. And aspirin. Hold on a minute. Let me tell you a story about aspirin. I'll show it to you. You're not going to like this. You guys are going to go out and buy bottles of aspirin. All right. I need to put my plate back in the refrigerator. And I need another bottle of water. Yeah, hold on. Okay. Aspirin. Do you want to hear the most absurd? This is where in the title, absurd prices for aspirin here. It's ridiculous. You want to go in there and say, what is wrong with you people? First of all, you can't buy bare aspirin in a drugstore here. You can buy some weird ass brand name. Let me see if I can find it. Not that. Yeah, I got it. You can't buy real aspirin here. You can buy this garbage. And when I say garbage, I mean it takes two of these, to equal the amount of one generic brand aspirin. Whatever was in this bottle, it was some off brand that I bought in a supermarket, and I paid $10 for 100 aspirins. Was it 100? Yeah, I think it was 100 aspirins. Yeah, 100. I paid 10. So I paid 10 cents each aspirin. It was like $10.11. That's why I was saying. So I paid 10 cents per aspirin. And these are twice the strength of these. But the problem is these aspirin, how they sell it in the Philippines, whatever name this is. Okay, this one is Bear aspirin. These are 300 milligram Bear aspirins. Okay, without my glasses, I wouldn't be able to see that. But these are 300 milligram Bear aspirins. And this is a generic brand. These were 500 milligrams. So these are twice as strong. So I paid 10 pesos for these each. These are 8 pesos each now. 8. So you need 2 of these. You need 16 pesos worth of aspirin, which is 32 cents. So you need 32 cents worth of aspirin to do what 10 cents worth of aspirin does when you buy them in the bottle in America. So you're paying 3 times the price. If you use a lot of aspirin, I would suggest you bring thousands, boxes, crates of them, because I bought these, I don't know, I bought these before I went to New York. I bought these. Now I use this for thumb drives. I keep the aspirins in a glass jar. So, but these aspirins are 3 times the price of the generic brand that works better than one generic brand. 500 milligram works better than 200-300 Bears in the Philippines. Everything you buy here is junk. You buy what you want, but if you use aspirin or Tylenol or ibuprofen, I guess is another name for something, I don't use any of that crap. Like I said, I haven't taken an aspirin in, I don't know, months, 5 months, 6 months. They're garbage. The aspirins here are garbage, and 32 pesos, 32 cents for 2 aspirins, or 10 cents for an American aspirin. Cell phones. As far as bringing a cell phone to the Philippines, man, don't listen to anybody that tells you can bring your phone to the Philippines. Now, there probably are cell phones, like if you're at, let's say you were at a Samsung, you wanted to buy a Samsung because you could get a special on it in America. I don't know anybody in America that's brought their phone to the Philippines and had it work. The fella I was just with, Carl from England, he paid like $800 for a phone in England, and they said the phone would work in the Philippines. And when he put a Philippines SIM card in his phone, a Globe SIM card, it froze up his phone. It just froze it up. He said he couldn't do anything with it. He had to shut it off. However, he got it to work again. But he could not make a Globe card work in his phone, or a smart card. He couldn't make his phone in the Philippines. So, but they sold him the phone. He bought the phone with the intention of using the phone in the Philippines. Oh, yes, this will work. It works fine in England, and it worked fine before he left, and he's back in England now, and it works fine, but it didn't work in the Philippines. And I've talked to other foreigners from America where their phone doesn't work. They have to buy a throwaway phone, $10 throwaway phone. But now, there's what is called an iPhone. I think it's the iPhone 11. I was reading about it the other day because I couldn't believe that a phone can cost $1,500. But I couldn't believe what the phone did, too. So, I mean, it has a camera on it that's probably better than any other lens you could ever buy in any other phone, or even video camera. From 1,000 feet away, it takes 1,000-foot zoom from 1,000 feet away. But it's $1,340 for that camera. That's supposed to work in the Philippines because somebody tried to sell me one of those, literally, and they wanted 74,000 pesos, which is $1,500 for that phone. That was a year ago. Well, it was an iPhone, and the guy who was standing next to me said, "Don't buy that." I wasn't going to buy it anyway. I was looking for a 5,000 peso phone with a screen. And so I asked him, why wouldn't you buy that phone? He goes, probably not real. Now, I will tell you, when you go to Manila, when you're in the airport, you won't see people selling those phones. But when you're in Manila on the street, a guy in the airport told me that he bought several and showed me the boxes of several phones that were knockoffs for some phone. I don't remember what it was. And I said, do they work? He said, well, they seem to work. And they were $150 on the street for fake imitation phones, or phones that were rejects from those companies. I don't forget what it was. But if don't go spending $500 or $600 on a phone if you come into the Philippines because someone says it's going to work, because there's no proof that it's going to work. And if you have dental work and you need dental work and you think that you're going to find a good dentist here, you might go through 4 or 5 dentists that will destroy your teeth and your pocketbook finding a decent one. Unless you know somebody that knows a good dentist. I would get the work done in America before I came here. And I don't want to hear about how cheap it is, because for crowns, I paid, I'll tell you what I paid for two crowns were 36,000 pesos with 2 cavities and including the x-ray. So I paid $700 for 2 crowns, which 2 root canals, 2 crowns, and 2 cavities, and the teeth cleaning. So it was $700. Now, of course, in America, it's several $1,000s for the same thing. But before I found that dentist to do that work, I've had several cavities filled, and the fillings fell out within days. So if you have a good dentist and you can get a decent price to get your dental work done, and I mean, I've had fillings since I was in my teens. They're still in my mouth, and every filling that every dentist put in the Philippines, every filling has fallen out. Every one, bar none. One fell out on Christmas Eve. One fell out 2 months before that. Fucking the doctors and the dentists here are garbage. Not going to lie about that. Okay, so let me, I think I'm going to pretty much end this. Michael McFarland, I like Christmas songs. I can't sing. No, it's a reasonable amount, says Mr. Willis. Nope, not me. I give a lot of money away every month. Do I care? Nope about it. Michael McFarland says he's generous. I got a new pair here, cost 13,000 pesos. All right. I don't know what you're talking about. A new pair of what? I missed some. All right. but they are oh, okay. Glasses, 13,000 pesos. Yes, sir. That is what they cost. That's 13,000 pesos is about right. And 13,000 pesos is $260. And then you can buy a pair of glasses. I had the APC backup also, Michael. That was the best. It lasted 14 years. Michael McFarland confirms aspirin is expensive here. What is the reason for aspirin to be so expensive here? No, I won't be coming back to New York anytime soon, Kevin. I have a house. I have work. We'll start working on the house in order to take an illegal kitchen sink and an illegal bathtub out, and a bay window. Maybe we might get away with the bay window, but I won't have to come back for that, and the money will be directly deposited into one of my bank accounts, into my bank account in America. So I don't have to come back to New York. I might come back to New York. I mean, if there was a reason to come back, I can come back, but I don't see it happening. Thanks. I don't know if you wanted to go out for dinner or something like that, but no, I probably won't be back in New York unless my daughter gets married and she invites me to the wedding, and that's highly unlikely. So, not that we don't get along, but we just, we haven't seen each other in a very long time. And that's okay. But unless I get invited to her wedding, and it has nothing to do with her, it has more to do with her mama. Her mama. So I'm okay with that. So her mama don't like me. Her mama don't like me. Hey D, how you doing? Keisha, how you doing? Anyway, no, I don't think I'll be going back to New York anytime soon. So I've seen phones work here, and I've seen iPhones. Well, that's what I said. Someone said the iPhones work, Flying Circus. So I can't, but I wouldn't vouch for that. I mean, and you're going to spend over $1,000 for a phone, and you can't guarantee that it's going to work. If you're going to stay here, that's a lot of money to not be able to throw in a drawer. Mr. Willis says, strange. His can't work. My iPhone worked in the Philippines for Globe. Well, I didn't say it was an iPhone, Mr. Willis. I said that Clark's phone didn't work. I said Clark bought a phone that they said would work in the Philippines, but it didn't work. Flying Circus, call your U.S. carrier about open lining it. Well, I don't know anything about that stuff because I don't have a cell phone. I have not had a cell phone since it's going to be 2 years soon since I had a cell phone. Going on 2 years. I haven't made a phone call on a cell phone in going on 2 years. I don't use cell phone. I had my cell phone fixed because when I start working on the hotel again, I'm going to need a phone. But that's the only reason I had it fixed. Had it not been for that, I would just never. I don't need a phone. I don't have a reason for a phone. I get messages, and I call up on my landline. All right. Always buy an unlocked phone. Okay, whatever that means, that's the advice. Scott says, I got the XS Max iPhone. Yeah, that's the big one. Why wouldn't you like that? That's the one with that camera that you could take a picture from somebody from 1,000 feet away and see their eyeballs. Yeah, the Oppo phone I had was 6,800 pesos, and then I just paid 1,800 to have it fixed. Kevin Cromwell says it's 4.5 hour drive to New York City, but I would make the drive to visit. Well, thank you, Kevin. If I decide to go, I will naturally tell everybody that I am going to New York. I did last time, just so that I could meet people. And there were so many people that were supposed to come, and they never showed up. The blah, blah, blah. The weather, they got busy, they did this, they did that, this happened, that happened. I only got to meet just Wes from One Lonely Farmer. But I did enjoy his, actually, I met another guy too, but we won't talk about that guy. Yeah, no tent. All right. You can look me up, Kevin Cromwell. You're welcome to do that. I only require one thing before people come and visit me. I require to talk to them on Skype, and I require to know their real first and last name. So, but you know, and that's not complicated. And of course, if you didn't want to post that information, then I would just need to see it in person when we met, and we wouldn't meet. We'd meet in a public place. But other than that, I don't require much. I'm not afraid of meeting strange people. I'm not a paranoid type of guy. There's people that are out there, oh, I just want to know what your name is when I meet you. It's all pretty simple. You haven't been a 5-year member or a Patreon member or anything like that. I don't know. But I would just need to see some identification when we met, and I'd take a picture of it. All right, I'm going to go. John Boonbean is going to be the last comment. John Boonbean says, I just had think more than a year ago, iPhone, €15, set new battery, €12, €27 total, and made a video here on YouTube. Still works. Yes, you got a good deal. I don't know anything about phones. Nothing do I know about phones. All I know is that if you're coming, don't let anybody talk you into buying one unless what are you going to do? You're going to spend $1,500 to $2,000 on a trip here, and what are you going to do? Bring it back to America? If you're on vacation, that's okay. But if you're coming here to live, better off just buying the phone here. I wouldn't buy something you can't bring it back. You can't even ship the phone back to America because it has a battery that doesn't come out. You throw it away, put it in your drawer. Thanks everybody for watching. Scott, Michael, Kevin, Paige High, Flying Circus. And thanks everybody else. Who else is here? A lot of people came today. Kevin Cromwell, I mentioned. Anthony Barrett, thank you for stopping by in the comments. Page High, I have John Boonbean. Bill, Lisa Gordon, Salamat, thank you, Slim Jim. Yako, Abdul Muhammad, thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Mr. Willis, of course, thank you. Emperor Strogan, thank you very much. Hopefully you bought my book. I don't see a notice that you bought them. Tom Patrick, thank you for stopping by. Let's see if we got a book sale. Not yet. Right? Wait, we have to go to the top of the page. Not yet. No book sales today. But we did have a book sale sometime earlier this week. And we'll shut that one off. Tom Patrick, Lefty All Around, Princess and Nude, John Boonbean. Go Bobo Sister. Thank you for stopping by. And we're done. Thank you, everybody. Salamat. If you haven't pushed the thumbs up or down button, now would be a good time. Anybody new that's going to watch this and you like this, then subscribe. like and share my videos, even though I do really stupid stuff. I get mad at the wrong people at the wrong time on the wrong day. I do that. I do that a lot. I got a bad attitude. Thank you, everybody. Salamat. One more thing. Warren H. I have not been able to get in touch with Warren H. I have not been able to get in touch with Warren H. No matter what I do, no matter how many times he sends me a message on YouTube, his Skype won't work in the hospital. I don't know what to do. Well, if Warren is not going to watch this video, there's nothing I could do. But I have tried to get through to Warren H. for those of you who care, and everybody cares. Not able to get in touch with Warren H. for 3 days right now. Today's the 28th. The last time I think we spoke was Christmas morning, and only for a half an hour. So he might be back in ICU. He was out in for 8 days, out for 3, back in for 4, out for Christmas Day, and now I can't get in touch with Warren, so he might be back in ICU. I don't know. I'll let you know when I find out. But thanks for stopping by and see what happens with Warren. I'm gonna hold on. Let me see if there's anything really interesting here. All right. Kevin is saying, Yaakov Abdullah Muhammad Salamat, Mr. Fazio. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for participating in the live stream and or on my videos. Kevin, I might do that, but hold on. Kevin Cromwell. Now, Kevin Cromwell on Skype, I could add, but Facebook, no. I got to tell you, I went to Facebook this week to talk with Scott Del Fuego to wish him a happy birthday. So let me open up Skype. I'll add you right now, Kevin Cromwell. You'll see a dog. Well, you'll see my name probably, but I'll add you now. But I will not go on Facebook. I don't spend, I try to spend about 40 seconds a month on Facebook. I open it up, I scan through it, I look for people I may or may not remember their names or know. And if it's somebody important that I remember, I scan it for seconds, and then I go off Facebook again. Now, I could tell you that one of the world's most famous people has been sending me messages for about a month, and I guess he wanted me to come over for the holidays, but I don't do much with the holidays. No, Warren is not here. All right. Warren says he's on Skype, but he hasn't left a message. So getting back to Skype, I'll add you right now before I forget, because I won't remember. Got to tell you, doing that stuff. All right. Kevin Cromwell, sir. Yeah, I think I got you. That's 4 hours. Okay. I added you. And all right, that's it. I'm done. Thanks, everybody. This has been fun. I did have a lot of fun today. Actually, I've been having a lot of fun. Actually, I'm in a really good mood today because I repaired a machine, and the batteries are garbage. It's going to be a live stream for another day. But the key part that made me happy is I got the machine started. I was worried that it was the starter and not the battery. So I supercharged the batteries and got the machine started. I was worried the starter was bad because the starter is $700. And I don't mind. It's not my money, but it's somebody else's money. But I didn't want to tell him that the starter was bad. So it's the batteries. So he needs new batteries. Now I have to tell him that the batteries I installed 2 years ago, 18 months ago, are garbage. Another thing, it's going to be an entire live stream on commercial equipment repairs in the Philippines. Got to tell you, stuff they sell you here is garbage. I'm being permy from Michael Fazio and Daisy May in the Philippines, baby. I'm being permy. Just under 4 hours. I like to keep them short. 4 hours for me, no problem. I'm being. Bye-bye.